Hello, everyone. Happy Saturday. It is Saturday. Holy shit. It's the weekend. It's the weekend, and we are here with episode 2 of Imperium Maledictum. Woo! Hang on, let's... Episode 2 of Imperium Maledictum. Woo!
Woo! Yes.
What's the excitement?
I'm not wooing at you like I'm a fucking, some college chick. You can go fuck yourself, okay?
That's what I like to hear. The cynicism straight off the bat. It sets the scene. Yeah, it sets the world. Ravon, Kwai Mai, hello. How are you both? Shall we just dive straight into it? Unless anyone's got anything they want to say. Go on, Steele. You've got something to say.
No, I don't.
No. Well, thank you for the gifted sub to Kwai Mai. I appreciate it, mate. Oh, that reminds me. We have new emotes.
Lots of new emotes.
All new emotes. The whole lot's been completely redone, completely changed, updated. It's only taken me 5 years. I eventually got. Well, I didn't personally because I'm the terrible artist, but Steele, your gift subs, your tier 3 sub, Ravons, everyone's yeah, I appreciate it. So yeah, congrats. Yourself, pat yourselves on the back. You've got new emotes. Hey. Oh, all right. On that note, Faust, as spokesman, what happened last episode?
Son of a bitch. Last episode, well, basically most of last episode was just meeting the crew, who they are, what they do, or what they've done, and how they kind of fit within the group dynamic. So yeah, we learned about everybody. We've got quite the eclectic bunch. 2 former guardsmen. Enoch, who I'm pretty sure is either really religious or just mental because of heavy metal poisoning. Noros is heavy metal poisoning. I guess
It's just heavy metal.
is heavy metal. Yeah. Osterin, he likes the sausage. And Faust is the resident psychic. Well, it's true.
Sausage and finger painting.
Sausage and finger painting, yeah.
Stop hating on his hobbies, okay? He's a perfectly bright, exceptional ogre.
I'm sure it's better than sausage.
2-year-old.
I'm sure it's better than sausage painting.
Art is art, okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, we met the group, and then we basically just were with them as they entered atmosphere and landed at Hive. Oh, sorry, what's it called?
Hive Rockarth on the planet Vol.
Hive Rockarth on the planet Vol. Cool, nice. Yay. I'm
surprised you remember that.
So yeah, cheers, mate. Skills. So yeah, it was just these guys, and we just followed them. Basically, just trying to find the fuck where they're supposed to be going, because Noros couldn't read a fucking map. It was fucking stapled to his forehead, apparently. Son of a bitch.
I blame the data slate on that one.
You blame the sacred machine spirit of the data slate? Heresy.
It hasn't had his percussive maintenance yet.
All right. So along the way, they bumped into some gangers who took the. Well, I mean, they were outworlders who didn't belong, and they were new to the area. However, they're also heavily, heavily armed and very fucking deadly. And they all died. Well, no, they didn't all die. One's still alive. Was the pity for him. As they took him captive and took him up the newly repaired elevator, which probably literally just needed a trip switching, you know, for it to work. Probably, more than likely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking, how much per hour?
It's lower hive.
So we got.
It's not exactly, you know, the servitor there that was posted to do repairs had long been out of commission with a single claw left that it just kept pushing buttons.
Just can't get the help nowadays.
You can't.
So yeah, we fixed the elevator, took our prisoner. Thankfully, nobody seemed to be following us. Probably because we just killed people, and people don't want to get involved. Because you might be next.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially in a hive city, you never know.
You'd never know.
Yeah. And I do believe we ended in our lovely, lovely humble abode that will be acting as our safe house for the duration of this mission.
That is correct. We ended last session inside one of the hab blocks, or the hab units, inside a place known as the Thaler Hostelry, a multi-level, multi-building complex built purely to house the labourers and serfs who operate the machinery and the Medicaid production here in Hive Rockarth. The individuals are not exactly of high status, nor do they have many worldly belongings. For all intents and purposes, this place is just somewhere relatively safe from the outside atmosphere to get their heads down, get some rest before work begins anew the next day. We did end with a slight knocking at the metal blinds to your hab unit, if you remember.
Yes.
I do. I wonder what it could be.
We're 72 stories up.
You are indeed 72 stories high.
On
So-
this level of the hive.
Yes. Yeah, these buildings are colossal. This is, you know, a hive city. The capital city of Vol. Hive Rockarth is enormous, even by hive city standards. So each floor could range anywhere from 50, 100, and maybe even more stories tall. And yes, this is still pretty much the bowels, the lower levels of the city. But, as a quick refresher, in your rather pleasant room, there were several wire beds with old rags to act as your sleeping areas, along with a few older crates, ammunition containers, and lockers to act as personal storage. But apart from that, and a rusty sink just off to the side, the room's very spartan, very bare. In the corridors, just outside, would be very similar. Soot and grime line the edges of the hallway with a multitude of cables and perhaps even struts of metal just hanging from within. This place has not been maintained in, at a glance, centuries. With an old wooden chair in the centre of the room sits a individual wrapped up in tarp and various other implements, unable to speak, but his eyes just glancing round the room at his new captives. And last but not least, a heavy rasping on the metallic shutters that lead out of the building. Rhythmic. Pound, pound, pound. What are you all doing?
Barrick will get up off of his wire rack and go and take a look and see what the hell's going on.
With the,
I'll have my my hand on my las pistol just in case.
Alright, Barrick, as you step up towards the shutters, there's a small control switch on the side, and with the quick flick of a lever, the metal shutters begin to slowly rotate, allowing in a little bit of the glow from all of the lanterns and street lights below to flood into the room. And there, hovering directly in front of you, is a servo skull. For a brief moment it bleeps, clicks, and then one of its eyes begins to glow red as this laser just scans through the metal bars. Not a laser like a lasgun, but that of a scanning procedure, and just begins to flick over you.
Going to gonna shoot it with the las pistol.
All right.
Yeah, before you pull the trigger, can Faust like just use his telekinesis to just stop you dead and be like, we might need that.
Barrett, you do recognize this servo skull that's hovering outside of the window.
All right.
This is a servo skull that has been deployed with you and the rest of the crew on many previous missions. And typically it comes bearing news or orders from the Lord Inquisitor himself. But it also has a penchant for screwing up operations, be it not knowing how to stay hidden when told to, be it making noises, bumping into things when it shouldn't. If a servo skull had a conscience, or was conscious for that matter, this would certainly be the ideal candidate for it. And I would imagine at this point, Barrett, you probably hate this thing.
Yeah. That's why he wants to shoot it.
As the scan finishes, though, there would be a crackle of static, only for a moment, before eventually coming from this speaker at the side of the servo skull. A relatively loud fanfare of liturgical music begins to blare out. Then, another crackle of static as the metal shutters of the window begin to open even further to allow the servo skull entry into the room. And using its anti-grav jets, it just hovers ever so slowly into the center of the room. And at that point, it begins to scan each one of you individually. Whilst this music is playing, it sounds like a tinny trumpet, a couple of drums in the background, and an organ.
I don't know why.
Faust.
Do it just quietly.
Yeah, Barrick's just gonna walk out of the room, just like hands up, whatever, you guys can deal with it. I fucking hate that thing.
The man in the chair, this ganger who's tied up, is looking wide-eyed, trying to turn his head to see what all of this music and noise is behind him. Unable to do so, as eventually the servo skull, also known as Davor 404, opens its mouth, and this cartridge falls out of it, clacking even against the metal floor below.
Enoch will approach to get this thing and see what it is.
As you pick it up, it's a familiar sight of a small casket that typically contains parchment-based or written orders from the Lord Inquisitor.
But seems we have our orders, and he's gonna start opening it.
Doesn't take long to open with a quick flick of the thumb. There would be a slight sting, as if a small needle or a stud has just punctured against your skin. But with a click, the container opens, revealing in a red silken interior a square folded piece of parchment.
He'll fish it out. And is this the brightest room in our little hovel that we're crashing in?
It's only one room, so yes. Unless you go outside into the corridor where there may be a few lights that you could perhaps pull down to shine on, or if you have a torch of some sort.
Well, he'll just unfold the paper and hope that he can read it.
Okay. It takes a few moments as eventually I would imagine you go towards the window that was opened and take the paper, begin to glance over it, and realise that it's in the typical ciphered language of inquisitorial importance. So, I'm going to need someone, Enoch, that would be you since you're reading it, to roll me a linguistics check, please.
Fantastic.
In fact, before you do that, bear with me. Let me just quickly throw up a few rolls because...
Oh, you want to see if it goes nuts?
No, I want... we're missing the thing on stream. I think 3 does it. Yes, there we go.
All right. This is probably going to fail, but... Damn thing, I can't see anything in here.
You can indeed
Suave.
read it crystal clear. You begin to glance over the note and immediately see that it's not exactly a nicely worded letter explaining things. There are pretty much just bullet points. From Lord Inquisitor Dario Korvac. Location, Acid Refinery Delta 64. And underneath that, in brackets, recently exploded. Unknown circumstances. Multiple accounts of a single survivor. Next bullet point, Archdeacon Excavus Artosi, Adaptus Ministorum. And in brackets, mounted investigation. Survivor, possible Imperial Saint. After that, the third point would say, investigate refinery, find identity of survivor. We'll contact in 3 days for report. Local contact, informant, Leo Rance. And then just below that is a cipher of a Vox frequency, basically, to contact the informant on.
Yes. So he's going to look at that, and we have our individual, like, Vox things. I want to get the exact word. Yeah, we have a Vox bead.
Correct.
So we're able to use frequencies directly through that. Well, it seems that someone's going to have to contact this person, a Rance. And he's going to look around and then just come to the realization that he's probably going to have to be the one to call them, because everyone else are, like professional killers and, an Ogren, which it's like getting a call and it's like someone's child is misdialed and they're like asking you all kinds of weird questions.
How dare you? All his intelligence again.
Listen, it's gonna happen again. Well, I'll try to get a Leo Rance. I'll try to reach them. But just in case, take this as well, and he's gonna show the frequency to the. Basically, gonna hand the paper off to Faust, so
Sure.
he can take it if he needs the frequency for something, or like needs to recognize it, or whatever else.
I'll probably take it and store the frequency as like a preset in my Vox speed, and then just pass it on to Norris.
Gnarls will
Yes.
take it, and then he's sitting right in front of the prisoner. So he's just going to glance up at the prisoner, then look back to the group. Should I remove his eyes?
No, not just yet. Although we should attend to him, yes. Probably before we move on. So, who tied him up exactly? Was it Barrick tied him up?
I think Barrick did.
Yeah, and Ostrin's just kind of sitting across from him playing guard dog.
Well, I'm just curious, like, how his mouth is bound, like, or is it like he's got a rag? Is it like duct tape around his head or something, or?
Go on, Barrick. What did you do?
He's got a rag in his mouth, very tight, and it's like shoved, like it's. So he's got a piece of cloth like shoved into his mouth, and then a rag, like tied around his mouth so he can't talk. He can only use his nose to breathe. And he's like unusually bound very tightly to the chair. So if he tries to move, he's gonna hurt himself.
Yeah. So all you can hear from this prisoner is this snuffly whistling noise as he breathes in through his nose.
Yeah.
Half
Just
whimpering.
curious, well,
I don't think it'll matter, nor else he'll be dead when we're done with him anyways.
Yes, but we don't know what kind of... if he has any technology in him.
Well, do your thing then.
Gnarls is going to observe this man very closely and make sure that he has no way of outside communication with anyone.
All right. Roll me a very easy awareness check. So, you begin to glance over the man, and apart from a augmetic throat and vox box, which has the potential to perhaps house a vox bead or some form of communication, glancing a little further around, you see that it's purely just in his throat. There's no attaching cables or other avenues for it to go into a communication piece. It seems that perhaps working in the polluted atmosphere, he may have scavenged up enough solars to purchase a rebreather and a new throat to filter out some of the chemicals. But apart from that, yeah, no way for him to transmit his location or talk to anyone.
All right. He appears to be clean.
I take it you mean that figuratively. Look at him.
I meant to clean of any devices that could broadcast any kind of signal.
Oh, yes. And Enoch's going to look over at Beric. What did you think we were going... What did you want to ask him?
I mean, what's the usual? Who he's working for? What was he doing outside of this building? You know, at least, you know, if any more of them are going to come looking for him, do we have something to deal with before we continue the mission? As I'm slowly, like, as I'm asking or answering Enoch's question, just, like, slowly panning towards the man with, like, just a sickly grin of, like, come on. Just looking a little chaotic to him.
The dirt on his face has mixed with the extreme amount of sweat currently pouring from his brow as he looks towards you, Barik. He's shaking, obviously terrified, and he just begins to shake his head back and forth whilst muttering something through the gag in his mouth.
Well then. And Enoch's going to just, like, grab the rag and kind of pull it down so he can try to, like, work out the one that's been lodged in his throat, basically.
We're from building 2! Building 2! It was just us! It's our home! We were just having a bit of amasack, having a few drinks with the friends. Thought we saw people who knew us, newcomers, and, well... we didn't mean any harm. We meant nothing by it.
You meant nothing by it. Seems unlikely. Though retrospect probably has changed your attitude greatly.
Oh God, Emperor, please have mercy on me. I swear, it was our off time. We had nothing that we could do. We were just hanging out outside. Please don't kill me.
And he's just going to turn slowly to Beric.
I don't believe him. And Beric starts rummaging through his backpack and looking for his entrenching tool.
Austrian just stares at the guy. Is this the part where I start pulling pieces off him?
Not yet, big man. Not yet.
See, the outer character part is like, this is just some guy who didn't die, and like there's no real reason to do anything other than kill him.
Oh.
It's just like, oh my word. Like, and like if it were any other game, like, oh, we'll let you go. Like, we can't do that.
Yeah, pretty much. So, Ostrin, roll me a... Let's go with a... I think that's pretty intimidating of you. Very easy. In fact, where's your character sheet? Yeah, an easy intimidation check with the... I'm going to give you advantage.
Intimidation anyway.
It's not on there, so let's go with... See, we're still thinking D&D. Got our D&D heads on still.
Presence, maybe?
Presence, yeah. Roll me a presence test with the... Very easy, with advantage. There's a brief puddle on the floor as this guy just wets himself. His eyes go wide as he looks over toward the giant Ogren at the side of the room. No, I'm telling the truth. I'm telling the truth. I swear. Look. My name's James. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with? We're all friends here, right?
Friends? Have at him, big man. He's all yours. As a pat Ostrin on the back and just walk away.
Oh, I've been looking forward to this. And he just kind of like licks his lips and gets up and he starts like lumbering over to the guy. He looks over to Barrack and Enoch and then kind of tilts his head. He's like, do we need anything else?
The rag, it back in his mouth, preferably. He's going to make a lot of noise.
He just grabs it and shoves it back in there really, like, uncomfortably hard.
There is one thing I would like to ask him yet. And Norris is just gonna look at the guy dead in the eyes and like, that white banner outside with the modified Imperial crest. What is it?
That. And this is where the rag's just starting to go into the corner of his mouth, and he's biting back at it, just turning away. They're preachers of the Imperial truth. They said the coven of the Emperor or something. They come by every now and again. A lot of the people are. And it's at that moment where the rag just gets stuffed in his mouth.
Ostrin thinks a minute and then pulls the rag back out and like very gently, like it was a baby animal, just bonks him on the back of the head and says, "Keep going."
Well, I don't know much about them. Oh god, it's just they sort of tend to go around in groups wearing white robes and handing out rations and things to some of the folks and the labourers, yeah. And in turn they hang up the banners in places that they've visited or that they're taken under their wings.
Have they mentioned anything about a false Emperor Seraph?
No, I don't know nothing about that. There's no such thing as a false emperor. That's heresy.
Hold on. Ostrin's just gonna like interrupt. He's gonna interrupt Noros for a moment. Gonna shove the rag back in his mouth, and then he's gonna grab a finger from him, and just like somebody tearing off a piece of bread.
Oh.
The finger's just gonna go boop.
Oh no. Fortitude. Very hard. Disadvantage. His head. He throws his head back in the chair. A muffled scream through the rags in his mouth echo briefly around the room before his eyes roll back and he passes out.
Oh, would you look at that? We're getting blood all over the new carpet.
Oh. Well, it only took one finger. I remember some people, you could get like 3 or 4 through them before they pass out.
Those people are heavily trained against interrogation, Ostrin.
He just gets a shrug. Like,
Nice.
he knows he's been drilled in military protocol and stuff, so like, but to him it don't matter. He just sighs and goes to find a rag to clean up some of the blood.
There's more than
Puts the
enough rags
man's
on the
finger in
bed.
his shirt. Yeah, he just kind of like tucks the finger in the guy's shirt.
Right.
All right. Well, we have no use for a unconscious, well, idiot, actually.
I doubt he's of much use to anyone. And then Aaron's going to look over at the windows to see if they can be opened or if it's just the shutters.
Yeah, you can open the shutters. It's how the servo skull managed to make its way into the room.
Yeah, it's like a,
Oh no!
So the shutters open. It's like a 1 foot gap, though. Like right, maybe like that. Like
Yeah.
Enoch's thinking of a way to dispose of this guy that doesn't make it look like he was like murdered, like right there in the room. Like this guy should have never left the street. That's where he's at.
You've got
Yeah, throw him out the window.
about to say you've got a tech adept who I'm sure can
Lift
push
the
it a little,
blinds.
lift the blinds a little further than what would be considered safe.
You want me to get rid of him?
Well, he's gonna do nothing but draw attention to us we don't need, and we have to have a conversation. And due to an oversight on my part, he now has a contact's name, and we can't very well let that be.
Noros is going to go over.
He's
and
not
open the
leaving this
blinds.
room alive. Well,
So
or maybe
Stran's just gonna while you guys are talking, he's just gonna grab the top of his head and in his opposite shoulder, and then just twist.
So hang on, what exactly are you trying to do with him? Turn him into some sort of human sausage to post him through the window?
No, he just grabbed the top of his head and the
Okay,
shoulders, so
okay.
his body don't move, and he's just basically breaking his neck. Just a little.
It's not even difficult to the point where the head, Ostrin, as you turn it, I'm going to say easily 170, 180 degrees. You are a strong individual.
right.
And
Well,
then he's
well
just
done.
gonna. He's not gonna take anything off him at this point because he has nothing worth taking, I'm sure. Actually, no. He takes anything of remote value off the body, leaves it on the floor. That way, it looks like he was just straight up brutally robbed.
All right.
And then he's gonna untie him.
He's actually got 8 solars on him. A few slips of dirted coin are arrayed on the floor, but apart from that, his weapon was taken earlier. There's nothing else apart from his filtration device on his throat, a strip of coloured linen around his arm to indicate he's one of the cutters, and his leather armour.
Enoch, let's get him to the window and let's just push him out and let him just fall, even though he's already dead. Just get him out of the room.
Well, yes, Ostrin. You know, have you ever seen one of those chutes that garbage is thrown down? Just treat this like that. And he's gonna just look at he's just gesturing to the window, like the slats that are still
Oh,
open from
yeah.
their service go.
He's just gotta like one hand palm the guy up after untying him from the chair, drag him over, and then just mush him through. Like there's no finesse here. He follows the order to the T without thinking about it, without wondering. He just boop, pushes him right in.
There's this horrific grinding noise of metal bending for a brief second as some of the window slats are pushed to the side as this body begins to mangle up against the side of the window before eventually there's this sickening squelch. Just the body just drops from the slats and begins to sail down 72 stories to the hard ground below.
Well done. Well done.
Oster's just gonna wipe his hands off and look pleased with himself.
It's like returning a videotape.
Sadly, James has got quite the fall before he hits the ground. But at 72 stories, I don't even think you would hear the screams at that point from below.
If there are screams, would we even hear them against the backdrop of
No.
all the horrible noises?
No, you wouldn't. The atmosphere is just constant ringing, clanging of heavy machinery in the distance, the constant drone of voices of millions, tens of millions of voices around. There's... I use the word a lot because a bot called it, but it is basically a cacophony of noise 24/7 here.
Well, Leo rants then, and he's gonna start trying to key in for the Vox beat. Not exactly sure how a Vox beat would be operated, but like, I realize it's like an earpiece.
Yeah, think of it like a radio. You scroll through a frequency before eventually making contact.
So he'll tune in the frequency.
All right.
And just look over the paper once more and make sure there's not like a keyword or something that needs to be spoken.
No, literally just the Vox frequency connecting to a Leo rants.
Well, no time like the present. No time to waste if we're looking for a saint. After all, these others may be looking for him as well. And he's going to key it in.
All right.
Faust is going to tune into the
Same frequency. Yeah.
Same frequency, just so you can listen in.
Okay. Whilst there's a lot of Vox channels, so it would take you a good few minutes to start scrolling through. Anyone else doing anything whilst Faust and Enoch are currently trying to dial in the frequency to contact Leo?
Get the paper from Noros so I can have that frequency on hand as well.
Okay. For anyone interested, the frequency is ++418 115 dash worm ++. With the eventual dialing in of the frequency and the Vox cycling through the occasional radio station, odd bit of music, mostly hymns on repeat, white noise, high-pitched squealing on other channels. Eventually you do manage to dial in. And for a brief moment there's naught but static, the crackle, before what sounds like the whirring of industrial tools. Voices shouting in the background. It seems to be whoever's currently picking up this frequency is in a workhouse or some other industrial environment. And this voice then rings out.
Hey! What do you want with Leo? Huh?
And Enoch is going to realize that it's somebody coming through, and it sounds like it's not the person that they're trying to reach.
No, this is a very feminine voice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes, we were told to talk to Leo about finding someone in particular. Yes, and someone who has something we're looking for.
Oh, is that so? Well, unfortunately, it seems that I found the bastard first. You see, This piece of shit owes me 2,000 solars. A gambling debt, eh? He's not been a very nice boy, and by the sounds of it, he's not exactly, well, you're looking for him for the same reason. He owe you money as well.
Ransos knows debts, but others do, you could say.
Well, alright, if you want him, you are welcome to have him. But, pay me 2,500 solars. Yeah? You can have him, you pay his debt, and then you can have him, and he's all yours. Chop Shop, District 7, 2nd floor.
At that, the Vox cuts out back to white noise.
Makes sense that if someone has debts with our benefactor, then he would likely owe others the same or more. 2,000 solars, though, that is. And he's just looking around. That's absurd.
Okay, so what's going on there, Enoch? I wasn't able to listen in, so can you kind of give us a rundown of what's going on?
It seems our contact has been taken prisoner by someone in District 7. They're running a chop shop, and from the sounds of it, sounds like there's heavy machinery, and who knows how long he will last. And if he is our contact, he's our only information. We must secure him, or what he knows, at least. Now, there's a matter of he has debts, and I am not able to pay 2,000 solars to free him. And whoever has taken him captive, if they will not release him, stands in the way of the Emperor.
Agreed. I'm not paying. I wouldn't see us paying $2,000 for that, and I doubt the Inquisitor would either.
No, I think the most that they could expect in that situation would be a bolt around to the face, probably. Well then,
Ostrin's gonna come over, still wiping his hands, trying to get all the grit and blood off from essentially just smashing that man through the blinds. And then he's just gonna shrug and say, "So put a bolter to their head. Like, they don't gotta know we don't have 2,000 solars."
well, they've given us a location already. Whether or not we go, I imagine we have to. And they said they're on the 2nd floor. Which makes me think that, well, I don't really know what the situation is. 2nd floor as opposed to 72nd here.
Maybe Knowles can pull up a schematic of the city and maybe find the place this time.
Well, we're going to need a data terminal for that to happen. And our little abode here does not suit our purposes.
Unsurprising. It fails us yet again. Very well. Let's see.
Getting access to a data terminal wouldn't be too hard. You've seen several of them throughout your journey here, either through some shops or some of the administratum offices nearby would no doubt have data terminals.
Well, he's going to look around. Like we brought this guy up in the lift. Like how long has passed since that? Like an hour, 2 hours?
Yeah,
Longer?
Yeah. I would say around about an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Well, there's no time to rest if we have to secure this contact. We should be off right away.
Before we go, let me share something with you all. On the ride over here on our little train car, I overheard communications between two people in white robes. They talked about some kind of Emperor Seraph and his second coming.
The Seraph, like the angel of the Emperor.
I'm unsure. All they mentioned was Emperor Seraph.
Like a saint.
I
Like
guess
what
it
we're
could be
here to look
portrayed that
for?
way, yes.
This smacks of heresy.
They have meetings here in the lower districts pretty much every day.
We
It's
have our
often
orders, but we will have to watch for these heretics. If that is what they are, then they must be cleansed.
And as they seem to modify the Aquila of the Emperor, I would agree with you.
I'm on board.
I need to stifle the thought that came into my mind.
No,
just
fuck it, go for it, roll it.
No, it's just like I was just gonna make a joke about it being copyright infringement. DMCA even in the 40s. What?
A careful Emperor Tube would be watching.
Yeah.
Man, those copyright strikes hit harder in the 40k.
Yeah. All right.
But yes, if you are to look out for these heretics, they often are found in white robes.
Oh, God. Well. Oh, no.
Go for it. You're on my channel. You know I'm good with it. Send it.
No. It's something that will get sent if we encounter people in white robes who look like they might be these people, and we're convinced they're heretics.
I think not even close. As long as they're in a white robe and vaguely resemble.
like white robes, like or close enough to white robes. Really, you look the part? Okay, things are about to get really bad for you. All right. Well, we should be off then. After all, there's nothing to hold us here. We'll have to go back to one of those administrative buildings and find the way.
And then aggressive negotiations, yes?
By the sounds of it, yes, aggressive negotiations.
Well, we may want to scout out where we're going first, and not just find the way.
Very well. You would have a better idea of how these things would go. But we must act swiftly.
Let's be off then.
All right.
Well then, off we are.
So, departing the decrepit internals of this hab unit in the Thala hostelry, you make your way back into the corridor, down to the far end, into the lift, and take the lift 72 floors down. Here, stepping out of the Thala hostelry into the familiar-looking courtyard now. The bodies that were left there from hours ago have been stripped and removed. The only signs that a fight ever took place here is the odd spatter of blood and a few new craters in the walls from stray rounds. You begin to make your way down the main strip, locating in relative quick succession a administratum building. Stepping inside. Oh, let me get a who looks interesting. Yeah. As you step inside the administratum building, here it's very different from that of outside. Rather than it being rusted, decrepit, bits of metal hanging from rafters and from buildings, the inside of this small district or small local office is nicer. It's clean, at least. Yes, there's still elements that have been left in disrepair. A few older cogitators in the corner with either cracked screens or no power stand silent, and behind the counter a woman in the typical grey looking robes of the administratum just peers over the counter at the group. Welcome to the Thala administrative office. Nature of complaint?
More of a request, actually.
Very well. Take a token. You will want the next 3 desks down.
She flicks a finger 3 desks down from hers, which is empty, but there are a few barriers that mark out a queuing system. And a small turnstile-looking device that has a paper ticket protruding from the bottom.
If we start queuing there and she stands up and moves down into that fucking suite, I swear to fucking God.
Neuros is going to do this shit. He's gonna take his ticket, and he's going to walk the queue.
Whilst you're walking around this small maze of barriers, the old woman creakily rises from the chair and begins to shuffle her way down behind the counters, 3 desks down, before planting herself on the small stool behind the counter. Just before you reach the desk, Noros, she slaps this large tome. No, Noxious, that was the plan all along. he knew. He knew.
I fucking knew it.
As you begin to approach the 3rd desk, Noros, she slaps this large tome down in front of her as she then peers back up towards you.
Requests department. State your request and allow for several days of processing before your request is authorized.
She slides this large tome through a slot in a mesh window that separates you both, along with a rather old-looking quill.
How much space is in here?
It's relatively large, like most administratum buildings. You're looking at roughly 10 to 15 meter high walls. The ceiling's domed. There's a lot of
Okay, so it's not like very scrunched in.
no. It's grand for the Thaler hostelry, but
Okay.
still.
So like,
So go on.
Ostrin's just gonna like loom behind Noros.
Yeah, this thin mesh that separates the counter from the waiting area doesn't seem like it's going to protect this woman from the giant Ogrin staring at her from behind the Tech Adept. But regardless, she slides this large tome through a gap onto your side of the desk, Noros, along with a quill pen.
Norris is going to look at the tome and the quill pen, and then look back up at her, and he's just going to say, I need to borrow a data terminal.
Make a note in the dome of requests, and from there it will be processed and...
It's at that moment she stands up, takes a small placard from behind the counter and slips it in front of the desk. The sign says, closed. At that, folks, we will be right back. I'm going to call a quick break there. How's that, Ravon? Yeah, we'll have a refill o'clock as she just puts this close sign on the counter. Yeah, refill your glasses,
All right, I'll be
nip
right
to
back.
the loop, and we'll pick this up in a few moments. Also, whilst I've got everyone... let me check back over to Twitch. Sneeze, thank you very much for the 63-month resubscription. It's appreciated. 63 months. It's crazy. It's crazy. Noxious Druid, again, thank you very much for the 500 bits. Tribute for the Emperor. For the God Emperor. Thank you. The God Emperor of mankind. But your tithe has been accepted and appreciated. Thank you. It's the rum, but then again, it's Saturday. It's 9 p.m. for me, so I'm happy to finish this off. Cheers. And that's the rum gone. Why is the rum always gone? I will be right back. I'm going to grab a refill and then we'll pick things up. So, won't be a second. Hui. I have returned.
Welcome welcome back.
Thank you.
As have I.
So, frustratingly, Mordecai is having some crazy issues at the minute with his internet. So what I'm going to do is just momentarily put. He's been trying all session to get it sorted, but he's really struggling. Really struggling. So I think he's currently in the process of resetting his router again. Oh, yeah. Thank you very much, Duz. Noxious, I've influenced you to go on a hunt for the pirate's grog.
Good luck.
Good luck. It's it's brewed over here in the UK.
You can't even get it in Europe.
Yeah, due to Brexit. Yay. It's fucked a lot of shit, basically. So, I apologise. One cannot sample easily the grog. I may have to set up some sort of weird rum distribution. It's a joke before anyone, reports or this guy's trying to sell pirates grog abroad.
Yeah, 150 euros.
$1 million.
$1 million dose.
Well, yeah, the only thing I've got left at the minute until Christmas is some Madry. So, we're on the lager.
Okay.
All right. With that said, though, Noros. Are you there?
Yeah.
No, well, hello. Yeah, having this closed sign propped up in front of you, the old woman begins to rise from the seat and start shuffling towards the back offices. You are left in the room with Osterin breathing down your neck. Several data terminals at the far end of the room, close to the entrance. But
I was about to say, is there a data terminal?
So there is. When you first entered the administratum office, there were several data terminals that were open to the public, but they were, some of them had broken screens, others had no power. There weren't any available terminals that were lit up. There's the terminal obviously behind the counter, but this woman just shuffles out, muttering to herself something about break time, 5 minutes, 50 minutes. You can't really quite tell beneath the somewhat dazed expression she wears. You could show your inquisitorial rosette.
No. As she walks away, he's going to wait until she's out of sight, and then he's going to kind of get behind the desks, if there's a way to do so, and just access one of her data terminals.
There would be, but it requires going through a armored door. Now, there is a small terminal next to the door, or I would imagine others have other ways of opening doors. And I'm going to leave it to you lot. What's the plan?
You said that there was a small mesh screen
Yes.
between where we were and where she was, right?
Correct. Oh no.
Hey, big guy? Big guy?
Yeah.
You want to make a hole for Noros to get through? We need that mesh out of the way.
The mesh in the from where the lady pushed the thing through.
Mm-hmm.
He just kind of like looks at Barrick for a second and then looks at the mesh, and his hand just reaches over. Like there is a process behind his eyes. He is kind of deciding the consequences of his actions, but like he doesn't take a moment to really think about it. He just does what he's told, and then just you can hear his hand scrunch into it, that mesh, and then he just if there's any metal attached to it too, he just rips the whole framework off.
Roll me an athletics check. Very easy. In fact, no, just go for no, just easy, an easy one. Not very easy, just an easy athletics check.
Easy. Normal.
Yep, normal. So, with your fingers through the mesh, you begin to clamp your hand into a fist and start pulling. For a brief moment, nothing happens before eventually you hear the snapping, the twanging of wire. The sound of iron beginning to bend and break. As you pull the mesh out, the metal it's attached to at the top buckles, bends down and breaks. This almighty screech rings out through the administratum office as you just tear away. Not just the mesh in front of desk 3, but also desks 4, 5, 2, and 1. The whole lot just seems to peel inwards towards you as you pull it out. This is hundreds, perhaps maybe even 1,000 years of degradation for you. Child's play.
Osterin just looks over to Barrick and just offers like a half shrug, and then just drops it.
Barrick's got a bit of like a surprised look on his face, like, oh shit, wasn't expecting that.
The closed sign clatters to the floor.
Yeah, Barrick's eyes will dart then back to where she was to make sure she doesn't come out from the clanking of the sound and everything.
Roll me an awareness check. Straight normal. You get the impression that probably half the street heard the clanking and grinding of metal as it was stripped out, but she doesn't step out of the back.
Noros is going to look around. I'm kind of hitting myself for not doing this before.
Uh-huh.
He's going to check and see if there's any cameras in the administrative office.
Easy awareness. In fact, no, for you, let's go with something slightly more, because you're not just looking with your eyes, I would imagine. Roll me a... tech security. Very, an easy tech security check. You close your eyes for a moment, almost as if listening for any whispers or cries, alerts from the machine spirit nearby. Everything's silent. If there was a security system in place, perhaps it's like the rest of the consoles left in the public area of the office, left to degrade over years of neglect. You are fine. There is nothing scrying you, nothing has eyes on you. Any defenses? Well, you're in the lower parts of the hive. This is with an old woman behind the counter. There's nothing really much to steal here, so yeah, you're safe.
All right, then he's going to hop the desk and get access to a data terminal.
All right, excellent. Let's go for a very easy tech test. Straight tech. You jump over the counter, and at this point you see there's easily 3 or 4 different terminals and cogitators that you have access to. Diving onto the nearest one, you begin to tap out in quick succession commands what are you looking for? What do you want to know? You pretty much have the entire archive of this smaller Thaler hostelry administratum office at your beck and call.
I'm going to look up for any information on District 7, especially the chop shop.
Okay.
And then any surrounding areas as well.
District 7 is part of District 7 of Thaler hostelry. Is known as a smaller industrial area, not typically used for production, but more of salvage and scavenging. Here, items are brought down from the upper hives, passed onto the chop shops, who then carve it up to be passed through to processing and other manufactorums for resmelting or repurposing. The chop shop isn't its actual name. The actual name is along the lines of Habplex 37A Repurposing Reconstruction Plant 7, but all of them have pseudonames, and the one being Chop Shop is a smaller workshop that is used in carving down smaller items such as augmetics or everyday items, mulched up and then sent to be resmelt. It's not too far away. You easily manage to glance through the data. A couple of hours walk.
Okay. He's going to see about downloading the floor plan for that area, and then
Okay.
if there's any kind of, what do I want to say? If there's any other access into that area as well.
So, glancing over with that's a +7. You know, I can pretty much give you everything. You glance over some of the 4 floor plans that the Machine Spirit has provided you on screen, and it seems that the chop shop has a main entrance and also a smaller side gate. Now, this side gate leads into the colossal chop shop itself, but judging by what you heard on the Vox earlier, along with the main door itself no doubt having enforcers to make sure that's no trouble there, the side option is more than likely the best way into the chop shop. Outside, with it being closer to the edge of the hive, it's still a rather dusty environment. The populace there, you imagine, would be most likely peddlers, beggars, or labour serfs who are working in the reclamation districts.
He's going to glance up in the terminal, kind of at Faust, Enoch, and Barrick, and is there anything else you guys want to know about this place?
Yes. It's on the second floor. Is there an adjoining building or place like that it can be seen from? Is it open? Is it solid walls? Does it look to be all windows, perhaps? We do have someone who is adept at exploiting things like that.
Yes, there are many windows spread around the second floor, and the chop shop itself seems to rise easily 6 or 7 floors.
Yep. I'm just thinking, like, Mordecai has a sniper rifle, and, like, I think he would be delighted like a pig in shit if he could just, like, actually
use
snipe people.
Yeah. So yeah,
needed.
looking at the the blueprints, there are several buildings or raised platforms close by that would benefit someone like Mordecai.
Just writing in that way for him to still be there but not be there if he can't be in the session because of internet issues.
With access to this computer, would I be able to see the requisition logs for the chop shop?
Yes, absolutely.
Could I
Go on. Yeah.
could I kind of scan it and see if there's anything like abnormal going through it, like extra security items, extra cameras, ammo, stuff like that?
Oh. Roll me a... I think that's... linguistics, looking through something. You are presented with an astronomically large list of goods that don't seem to have any filtering options. The vast majority seems to be items such as scrap delivery 3A from section 5 of so on and so forth. So yeah, roll me a linguistics check to start quickly scanning through. Now, obviously, when it comes to data, you are the best at being able to scan through this vast amount of input. So let's go for easy. It'll be relatively easy for you to peruse this list. All right, +2. There doesn't seem to be anything out of the ordinary, giving you the impression that the chop shop administrators themselves may not be in on this.
Okay. Are there anything that's like an outstanding delivery date? Like
No.
something that has not been delivered yet?
No, everything seems to be proceeding as one would expect.
Then, just in case, can he modify that list and input a false delivery?
I don't know. Roll me a security. An easy security check. Ooh, what are you adding? As you begin to tap on the board to input new data, the machine spirit of the data terminal begins to protest. You get the impression that it doesn't feel too happy about trying to doctor something, but you are in charge. You are telling it what to do in this moment in time. So, what do? I will allow you to add a single item, or a single entry into the log.
It's nothing major, just probably a box of scrap an Ogren could carry.
All right. Okay. Yeah.
And then you're just gonna leave it there and then hop back across the desk.
All right. Any thanks to a certain creature or being that may have helped you?
Thank you, Washington.
Not what I was thinking, but that's fair.
There will be plenty of time for the Messiah.
A slight
Alfred's
feeling.
going to look very pleased with himself.
At
He got
that,
praised over the Omni's Messiah.
all of the terminals in the building just turn off.
Before they leave, Norris is going to grab the clothes sign from the floor and put it in front of the lady's like main desk. And just, he's going to say, I have everything I need to know, or we need to know. Let's start making our way over there. That's a couple hours walk from here.
How do you roll regular dice? Not like if I wanted to do like a chance thing.
A chance
Is it
thing.
just /R?
/R space and then 1d whatever dice you wanna roll. So 1d 100, 1d2, whatever you wanna do.
Okay, so pick a number solution between 1 and 2.
2, because I like the number 2.
Okay,
That's
so
my
if it's
favourite
2,
number.
when Austrian goes to leave, the mesh netting will be stuck on his foot and he's going to drag all pretty much the entire line of it with him.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
So this horrid screeching of metal and mesh just erupts as Austrian follows the group out and just drags the mesh net and it starts pulling from like along the wall too. Just the whole unit just comes out and just gets dragged along, and he doesn't even seem to notice.
As you're all exiting the administratum office, you hear the door behind you open and the old administratum woman shuffles out a small porcelain cup in hand as she makes her way back to the stool, sits down on it, looks around out at the public area, picks the side up, puts it under the desk. Requests are now back and open.
On her desk is filled out a repair request form for her office.
And with that, you all depart the Thala Hostelry Administratum office. This old woman just sat behind the counter. Either she doesn't care, doesn't realise, who knows? Who knows? But yeah, Austrian, you drag the entirety of 4 or 5 desks worth of mesh out front with you. Easily, we're talking, what, 15 or so meters worth of mesh netting.
And the metal struts that
And the struts, yeah. In fact, I would probably say, as you get to the door, some of the struts catch in the doorway, just tearing it away from, ripping a little bit of cloth from your trousers.
He just kicks it off.
As you begin to depart, you would see a couple of other people start making their way towards the administratum office, and they see this mesh netting in front of it, and you just hear this, "Oh, bloody hell, it's shut today. Oh, shit. Oh, guess we're coming back tomorrow. Sorry, kids, no food for you lot today, and we're not going to get that leak fixed." So, what are you all doing?
We're trudging our way towards the chop shop, and I imagine Mordecai will be getting himself a place to, do his Overwatch thing and try to do what he can do. But yeah, we'll let him set up his position, and we'll approach and try to work in from the inside actual building.
Okay. You make your way through the Thala district towards District 7. Thala Hostelry towards District 7. And it's here where you begin to reach the side entrance. Whilst Norris described it as a smaller side entrance, it is still a larger, colossal gate, easily 40 meters in width, 20 meters in height, open, with a few enforcers guarding it. Now, these enforcers you begin to approach don't seem to be part of the Vigilites or the Arbeites. They are what you'll probably describe as mercenary guards for the scrapyards. But they don't seem to be taking much notice of who goes in and who goes out. There's a line on both sides of this large gate, some heading in with what appears to be trolleys or wagons of bits of scrap. Some people with vehicles that have scrap in the back that they're moving into the chop shop. And on the other side, again, people stepping out with empty trolleys, empty wagons. No one's been stopped, no one's been searched, no one's been asked any questions.
Well, I think we should just proceed. Maybe just act like you belong.
That's not there. That's not a chaos star. Just for the sake. Think of it more as you, all right. As you step through the gate into the slightly cramped corridors, or more cramped corridors of the chop shop, to the left and right there would be larger rooms that seem to have piles of scrap where labour serfs pick pieces up, take them over to a bench, begin to carve them down, cut them up into more manageable pieces. There's other large grinding devices that buckets of scrap are poured into to be mulched down. And yes, you would see the occasional white banner draped with this slightly off-looking Aquila.
All right, so it's the modified Aquila, not a Chaos Star. Okay. That works. Well, we have to find our way up to this office. And,
And we're probably looking for unscrupulous individuals. Look for somebody who's not actually working.
Very well. And we'll have to find some stairs. So we'll start. Enoch's going to look around for like a lift or stairs or some method to get up to the second floor.
Yeah, there'd be multiple signs that point to cargo lifts and stairwells that lead up the chop shop building. So pretty much take your pick. You traipse through a... if you do want, are you going stairs or are you going lift?
Noros is going to look around and see if there's just like a box of scrap that Austrian could pick up.
Yes, easily. There's a multitude of various crates and boxes scattered across the entire area that Austrian would be more than capable of carrying.
Austrian, would you mind just picking up the biggest crate you can and bringing it with us?
Oh, sure. He just like looks around real quick, finds the biggest crate he can basically see in that moment, and then just goes over and picks it up like it's no problem.
All right, better take the lift.
So,
Fair point.
from... you begin to make your way towards the central part of the chop shop where the lift resides. Now, the chop shop itself seems to have a multitude of various small lights and lumen globes that illuminate the area. Every small nook and cranny of this chop shop, this scrap house, is alive with some form of activity. There's people with large angle grinders that are carving up pieces of scrap. You would see the odd augmetic limb thrown in there, or old archaic weapons, things such as stub revolvers and auto rifles that have been damaged, that they're just carving up into smaller blocks to be passed off. overall, this place is piled up to the sides of each corridor, each part of the room with dust. Now, this dust is not dirt. This basically just seems to be small iron and metal filings that over the years has just built up and never been cleaned out. The whole place smells like a rusted iron foundry. Any nail, no doubt laced with tetanus. A great place to work for the inhabitants of this place. But you make your way towards the elevators. There seems to be 3. There's a large central cargo elevator. And then to the left and right, roughly 20 meters apart, are 2 smaller cargo lifts. So small cargo lift to the left, small cargo lift to the right, large cargo lift dead center.
Might want to go on the big one with the big guy.
Well, I'm trying to think if maybe we should stagger our arrival. One giant group like this would... I know we've raised suspicions.
Got that, and if they're hostile, that's a kill box.
Well, suppose we could go up in a couple of elevators or the ones on the outside, maybe. After all, there's not that many of us, and these elevators or these lifts are large.
I could take the big guy up first. Play it off like we're making a delivery. I did actually schedule one in their system. And then you guys wait down here for, what, 5-10 minutes? And then come on and join us?
Perhaps 5 and come up afterwards. That works, I suppose. Hail us if there's any problem.
Just make sure you have your lock speeds on you.
Always.
Noros is gonna kind of put his hand on Austrian's left shoulder and kind of get him to one of the elevators. Come on, big guy. Let's get moving.
Maybe he can touch his shoulder if he stretches up really tall and touches
Yeah,
him.
probably.
Austrian's just gonna watch him make the effort and then follow him.
He's gonna get one of the smaller elevators with Austrian.
Okay.
I'm thinking like
So, left or right? Which elevator are you going in?
he's
So
going
Right.
The right one. So yeah. So in front of you there is this large cargo elevator in the center, and you got one to the left of it that's roughly 20 meters away, and another one to the right of it, which is also 25 meters away.
All right, we're gonna go on the right one.
The right one. Okay. Cool. What are the rest of you doing? So, Osterin, Noros, you make your way toward the right-hand elevator and begin to step onto it. Noros, with a quick tap on the pad, the elevator slowly begins to rise towards level 2. Barak, Enoch, Faust, what are you doing? At this point, you would also, just over the Vox bead, hear Mordecai say that he is in position.
All right. Very well. Let us know if you see anyone suspicious or anyone held hostage up there. It should take some time to scan. I'm sure there's all kinds of garbage to oversee.
The only thing you would hear back from Mordecai would be a lot of steam, a lot of smoke. There's a few people moving around Can't really pick anything out at this moment in time.
All right. So we'll wait a couple minutes, probably 3 minutes later, before we start getting into an elevator and heading up. To
Which
arrive
one?
A little bit behind the other.
Left.
Sure.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
a draw, really. So yeah, left.
Left one. So the left one is roughly about 30 meters away from the other one.
Okay.
All right.
Faust's he's doing prayers to help, center and focus his mind, just in case it does kick off. He wants to be ready.
All right. So, with that said, then the first people up to the second level of hide them. Let's find out what happens, shall we? Osterin, Noros. The elevator begins to slowly rise up. Bulkheads and metal is your view as this cargo elevator rises to the second level before eventually it opens up into a slightly larger area for this level 2 of the chop shop. Here, in front of you, seems to be a large cargo container that's been converted into some form of building, and with a quick glimpse around, it seems that this elevator's not monitored. There's several individuals and a group of individuals off to your right. A hive of activity and hustling and bustling of moving of salvage and bits of metal from some of the workers. But roll me an easy awareness check.
Both of us?
Both of you. Yeah. Noros sees everything.
Very easy?
Very
Just
easy.
easy?
Just easy. Yeah. You both see things. So, as you enter the second level, here it seems to be pretty heavy with the smell of rust, of iron. The air is hazy with both smoke from a multitude of industrial tools cutting through, as well as steam from a multitude of pipes overhead. You would see just off to your right that some of the individuals do have weapons, and one of these is glancing around as if waiting, glancing around pensively. A woman in a black bodysuit. It's at that moment she calls out to the rest of the gangers and people. All right, move your shit. I'm hoping that we'll get some visitors soon. Yeah, you too by the door, yay. If that elevator moves, you let me know, okay? We'll have to make a grand welcoming party for some friends. Noros, that voice sounds familiar without the static.
Lovely.
What do you do?
Norris is going to approach him a little bit
Okay.
and he's going to call out, kind of drawing attention to himself. Hey, we got a delivery here.
Delivery? I mean, well, just put it with the rest of the shit over, She thumbs over her shoulder towards a multitude of makeshift tents. Underneath them, crates of scrap and salvage are piled high, and a few of the individuals working here just look over, roll their eyes at the sound of more salvage. Really? Like we don't have enough up here, for fuck's sake.
With that, Norris is going to kind of guide Austrian over to the tents there in the back to drop that off.
Go for it. Position yourselves where you need to.
There we go.
So,
All right, big guy, you can put it down here.
Yeah, go on, Ostrom.
Austrian's just gonna like lumber over with the crate. Looking at some of the people around here.
Mm-hmm.
He's not struggling to carry it at all.
No.
And strapped to his back is this massive miner's pick.
He looks part and parcel. This darkened poncho, bit of scrap, mining pick, you fit right into to this part of the hive.
With a loud clang, he just kind of like stacks it on top of another crate and comes out, wiping his hands.
So, at this point, the overwhelming sounds of industry from downstairs have faded up here. There is still just off towards the sides the, in essence, shrieking of mechanical tools. And the central building, or this container that's been converted, seems to be the area that this group of gangers are guarding. One of the gangers is stood off to the side here with a blade in hand, just sharpening it against the plasteel barrier at his side. And there would be the sound of a circular saw and angry grunts, followed by a pained scream from the small container building in the middle.
Would there be enough noise going on that Neuros could kind of whisper into the Vox speed?
Easy. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's more than... Everyone seems to be preoccupied either with moving or salvaging scrap, or just talking amongst themselves at this point.
Neuros is going to kind of relay, and pretty much where everyone is laid out, he's going to also give like a brief layout of the floor, where things are located, like the tents, where decent cover might be.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's also going to confirm that he did hear, number one, the woman that was on the Vox speed before.
Yep.
And then number two, the screaming from the container right there.
At this point, I would imagine that as Osteron's placing the crate down, the cargo elevator for the others begins to rise as several minutes have passed. So I will place you three on the map at the far end there.
Yes.
So, whilst you're currently on your way up from the first floor to the second floor of the chop shop, Noros begins to relay this information to you all. You can respond if you wish. What's happening, everyone?
Well, when we hear that, Enoch's going to just echo back, "We are on our way up now." And
Faust's gonna go to Enoch. So we talking first, or
we can try. And if they won't see reason, then we'll have to do what we have to do.
if it starts going south, think the word scream, and you'll know what to do. Okay.
I have no idea what you're talking about, but sure.
Okay.
All right, so we'll approach, I guess, and assuming everyone is approaching,
Wow.
just
Barrick, anything you wish to add to this? Anything you wish to say, do? Any thoughts on the matter?
No, he's just following suit. He's just got his hands on his hand on his last carbine, ready to go if needed.
yeah, check. Looking these people over, it looks like there's a mixture of people who are just people who work here, like
Absolutely.
just bystanders.
Yeah, they, apart from some madman who seems to be sat in a pile of scrap, preaching about the God Emperor returning to walk amongst us. You know, he will return amongst and walk among the many. You there? He'll point towards you, Cypher. You go, you, yes. He sees you. He sees all you have done.
Just cipher me.
I did just cipher you. I meant Faust.
Can't believe you've done
I
this.
can't believe I've done this. God damn it. Let me... Hang on. Ciphering chat. There we go. Right. Yeah. Cheers, mate. Thank you. Faust. See, this is the problem. You play a awkward sorcerer in D&D and an awkward psyker in 40k. I don't top the rum and the alcohol. But
I've got a tape, you know.
you... Huh? So, Faust.
I like you attribute the slightest portion of all that to the alcohol.
Faust, you are not so much accosted, but you're the first person he points towards as you make your way past this madman who sat in a pile of scrap. But yeah, the remaining people here all seem to be labour serfs and workers of the chop shop. Those who are gangers seem to be pretty obvious. You've pinpointed that at least 6 of them have the red armband on their left arm, similar to the gangers you saw outside the Thala hostelry building.
Noros is going to tap Austrian on the shoulder and kind of mention to him, like, let's work out the way we came. See if we can flank these guys if we need to. And then
Austrian,
try and get, like,
Norris, roll me an easy awareness check as you pass by the group. Both successes, fantastic. So as you begin to make your way past the group, you would see that the vast majority have standard slug-based auto pistols and close combat weapons such as knives or a piece of scrap that's been turned into a makeshift mace. The only thing that would catch your attention is a man in a red jacket further down the bottom has a pump-action shotgun slung at his side. Is there anything you wish to know about the individuals as you go by?
Just if anyone was wearing any armor, but it looks like these guys are pretty unarmored for the most part.
Osterin, with that +4, as you pass by the woman in the middle of this group of gangers, her pistol would look a little different than what you've seen before. To the point where perhaps you've seen something similar in the past, but the word sticky comes to mind. Sticky pistol.
Sticky pistol. Okay.
But with you passing by... just before you make your way to the cargo elevator, the voice rings out. You, done with the big lad? Because I wouldn't mind if he stays around. He could be pretty useful. Moving some shit up here, especially with a pick like that, you could break a few things down.
Norris is going to turn and... I mean, I don't mind loaning him out to you guys for a little while. But what's in it for me?
Oh, businessman, I see your game. I mean, I'll throw you 10 solars for to let us use the man for a little bit. If you can swing that thing around, then yeah, I'm sure he'd be good to have. I've not seen you folks around here before. As this conversation goes on, you would both overhear the gangers below. I'm going to call her Blister, because that's her name now. Now it's been revealed in chat. Blister is the woman you've been speaking to, but the two gangers below her, you will just hear one of them is like, oh god, I wish there were a few more of us on this. I'm not here to peep from Nails, Vulture or Lothal since they joined the fucking Coven. It's just like they disappeared. The blue-jacketed ganger next to him like, yeah, I know what you mean. Ever since that Coven folk came over, I mean, some of our people have been dropping like flies, haven't they? Oh, shit. I mean, who knows? Maybe, in fact, maybe if you were, you had a bit more faith, yeah? Blister, Aslot, we'll be fine. Maybe if we join the Coven. The shotgun-wielding guy just turns around, shakes his head. No. Not a chance. You've seen some of those fuckers. But it's at that moment where Blister looks back towards you, Norris. So, we, 10 solos for the big guy. What you think?
Make it 20 and you get a deal.
20? Oh, you drive a hard bargain. All right, 20 it is. She begins to reach towards her belt pouch to start fishing out a few coins. And the next part of the conversation behind her, Noros and Ostranet, you would hear is the chap in the blue jacket just begin to call out, oh, look, come on, if we join it, they're our kind of people. They aren't just handing out arms to the labour serfs. They say things will get better for everyone. Especially when the Emperor Seraph comes, eh? Guy with the shotgun. I'm not interested in that Grox crap. Just put money in my pocket. Maybe a few more new gun mods. But, I mean, I don't know. The guy in the blue turns around. Look, her benefactor, yeah, he may be a bit off, but hey, you never know. Come on, Coven, think about it. It's at that Ballista clicks her fingers towards you, Norris. Alright. 20 solas. She slaps 20 coins into your hand, looks towards you, Osterin. Fancy being a bit of a guard? In fact, there's no fancy about it. You're a guard now. I've got some friends turning up shortly, and I just want you to look menacing. Think you can do that, big lad?
Oh yeah, where do you want me to stand?
Just by that door over there. She points towards the converted cargo container. Don't worry about the screams. Just removing a few items for insurance from someone in there. It'll be fine.
Oh, okay. And then he just kind of he puts his big pickaxe kind of down.
Mm-hmm.
But one hand's still on it. He leans on it. And then his other hand just kind of slaps the metal right beside him, here.
Yeah. All right, Noros, with your 20 solars in hand, what are you doing?
he's actually going to kind of go over here next to Ostrom
Mm-hmm.
and give him a slight farewell. But like they're just going to talk back and forth for a little bit.
Okay. Well, look, if you're sticking around, then how about do you want to earn a bit more?
What's the job?
You're not as big as your friend there, but there's a few miscreants who are making their way up here who I'm expecting relatively soon. There's an additional 10 solars if, you know, you just want to stand around, look imposing.
I could do that. Where do you want me?
I'll take your pick, wherever you want, but she motions towards some of the either cargo containers or pallets that are nearby.
He's going to. Something like that. He's going to go
Alright.
down here
Okay.
and talk to these guys.
All right. So you're moving into a different region, yeah? Different zone.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So with that going on, this gives the time for the rest of you to Enoch, Barrick, Faust. You're probably well aware of what's going on at this point. I would imagine you would have seen. Are you trying to conceal yourselves, or are you just making your way?
Enoch is not trying to conceal himself at all.
Good.
The moment they get off the elevator, he's just going like straight into this. Yeah, basically just waiting. He just plans on walking basically right up to, like, basically near this guy in the middle.
Okay. Faust, Barrick, anything you two wish to do whilst you're...
I'm just going to follow, slightly flanking on Enoch's right hand side.
All right. I will allow you guys to move to the open area, but as soon as you make your way past the stalls, you'll just hear a voice, this female voice ring out that's very familiar from the previous Vox communication. All right, that's far enough.
Just waiting for Steel to be able to move stuff up to his position or
All right.
whatever.
Barrick, where are you going? He's going there.
I'm going to take position right there.
Okay.
So that gives me cover.
All right. Roll me
Actually, can I hop over that?
Push come. Absolutely.
Is it?
Yep. You can go wherever you want to. You can easily mix in with a few of the individuals to. All right. My guess would be you're taking cover there.
Yes.
All right.
Blending into the trash.
Yep.
Be the trash.
One with the garbage.
Here, where you are, Barrick, there would be a multitude of crates full of scrap metal, so it provides pretty good cover. Roll me a stealth check, if you will be so kind. Let's go for an easy stealth check. Alright. You managed to time it perfectly. You notice just further down the way that Blister and her gangers are conversing with Osterin and Noros. So you take that chance to dive behind some of the scrap. One of the Labour Serfs nearby gives you a bit of an awkward look. But with you turning your finger, he just turns around and ignores you. He saw nothing. And gives you the perfect chance to set your last carbine against some of the scrap with a shot towards those in front. Alright.
Even though we're not in initiative or anything, can I start pre-aiming on a target and kind of keeping them in line of sight?
Who are you going for? Which one? The guy with the shotgun?
Yeah, shotgun guy.
Okay. So, if this does go south, or positive depending on how you look at it, you know the layout. You've ingratiated yourself not only within the gang, but you've also now set up a decent position. So I'm going to bump the superiority to 2 for this.
Cool.
So that's basically +2 to your first or any roll during combat. You know, +2 success levels. Plus. With that though, Enoch, Faust, as you step up, you see several of the gangers start to turn their attention towards you. All of them hands on their weapons. And last but not least, Gang Lieutenant Blister looks towards you, hands on her hip, this large wry grin crossing her lips. Well, what do we have here? I guess perhaps you are the folks who I had a chat with on Leo's Voxbeard.
And Enoch will step up to like just a little bit here, so yeah, so he has a direct line of sight past this guy.
And that guy's
Yes.
gonna he's gonna move a little bit.
Yeah, I figured as much, but yes, we've come for Leo. We have business with him, and the concern is of grave importance.
Oh, grave importance, is it? Oh, that's unfortunate. He's a little tied up at the minute and can't come out to greet you, but I'm sure for the measly price of 2,500 solas that I can coax him out of his shell to come and see you lot.
2,500? Well, that's a bit more than the 2,000 you said before.
He racked up a few more debts while he was in our care.
Hospitality fee, then. Well. My concerns with Leo are beyond petty, paltry gambling debts. I implore you to release him into our charge.
She turns round, showing her back to you as she thrusts her arms out to the side, looking over all of the gangers. Oh, he implores me. Get a load of this guy. At that, the rest of the gangers begin to erupt in laughter. Noros, Osterin, what do you do?
He just starts laughing loudly.
He implores us to lay. No. No, that's not how it works. Oh, you're a funny man.
I am well aware. You think that you have the advantage because you have numbers. But little do you know, and at this point, he's going to start thinking Scream very hard to see if what Faust does.
Faust takes an inhale of breath.
And we will be right back.
We'll be right back.
With that deep
All right,
inhale
I'll be
of
right back.
breath.
I'll need
Yep. Go on,
I'll need a few extra minutes while we're gone. So I'll be
all
right back.
good. It's all good. I'm going to have to click a button, I believe, because I know what's coming here. God damn it. All right, folks, we will be but a moment. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think shit's about to kick off. So, yeah, I'm going to grab a refill, and we'll be a few moments, everyone. Hope you're enjoying the memery so far. I've returned.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Well, advert started in 3 minutes, so Steele's got his time there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Well, that's went as expected.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Durs, are you happy with the new emotes? Have you noticed? We've got quite the plethora of new spangly emojis. This is where in the new year I'm going to have to commission some icons for the Maledictum crew as well.
Jesus.
Did I get rid of the pog? Oh no, really? Hold.
Oh, lizard
Hold.
pug.
Yeah,
you
no,
got
no,
rid
no,
of
no,
lizard
no,
pug.
no, no. Hang on. We can't be having that. Let's hang on. Let's change him to. Let's get rid of the Yar, because I know Rayvon's donated a fair few of those there bitties. So let's throw in the old lizard. Better TTV.
I mean, you could always just.
Hang on.
You could always just re-fireball people. You know what I mean?
You could re-fireballs, not bad.
Re-fireballs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. All right. We're done. Try refreshing Ravon. Try refreshing. You should have it now. I did at one point use better TTV, but I just don't use it anymore. I don't think many streamers do these days, do they? Adverts start in 30 seconds. That's why we're prolonging this, everyone. So, for those who are not subbed, we'll wait. Emperor. Alright, come on, adverts. You just do your thing. Start playing. I think Barrick's still AFK. But Noros Ostron, good positioning, may I say.
Thank you.
Smart, clever, I like it. The joys of an inquisitorial poncho.
Tactical poncho.
I'm just wondering why no one's been questioning the axe yet. It's
So
a giant axe staff.
The way I see it though is these ponchos will probably cover all of your gear. That's why I've not been sort of too harsh with questioning it.
I get you.
These ponchos pretty much cover your entire person and any gear you've got.
Okay.
Minus the trench pick, because that thing's 8 foot tall. But yeah, with it only being a one-handed axe, I've lent into the benefit of the doubt and let you conceal it.
All right.
Ravon, at some point the lizard will return. I have enabled it. It is there.
Back.
But-
Sorry about that.
No need to
Welcome
apologize.
back.
We've got 11 seconds left on adverts, so it's all good. Unless, of course, you're watching this as a VOD or on YouTube after it's been uploaded, then sorry for wasting the last 5 minutes of your time.
If they're
Sucks to
watching
be
the
you.
VOD, they can skip around.
That's true. All right. With that said then, and everyone being back, you would also get the quick comm link from Mordecai saying that the steam from outside has cleared and he can see into the compound from above.
Nice.
So, Faust, with a deep inhale of breath, what do you do?
Well, it looks like he's about to shout. Except when he does shout, no sound comes out, and everybody's ears seems to pop. Apart from those, in the corner of death.
Yep, that is called
he
the
hits-
shop front if you need a region.
Cool. So superiority dice 2.
Two, yep.
And cruel.
Oh my god. Immediately, all of the gangers in front of you, Faust, just grip their head and howl in agony. The other two gangers who were off to the side just glance around, their weapons not drawn, giving you all a chance. A round of surprise. Roll initiative, folks. But you certainly have a round before anyone does anything.
Job done.
Where do we roll the initiative from on this?
So right-click on your actual token. Click on the cross sword, the toggle combat state, to put you into combat. And then on the...
Gotcha.
Perfect.
Gotcha.
Boom. So, with all of the gangers clutching their heads, some of them screaming loudly, the others falling to their knees for a moment. Noros, what do you do?
Noros is going to take his axe and bury it in the back of the guy in the red. Right here, in front of him.
So bear in mind, with this, this is not slightly ending. You've got to move into the zone first of that they're in. Yeah. So you quickly skip round, bring the Omniscient Axe down. Go for it.
SL2.
I'm going to make these rolls all unopposed, as they are all currently clutching their heads as this psychic scream rings out across the gangers. It's unopposed, and you bury... Oh, no. Oh, dear. I'm going to roll that. Okay. Yep. You bury the axe into the back of the man. It's not enough to bring him low, but he screams, both in agony from the psychic shriek and the fact that he now has an axe buried. Where did he bury it?
I went to bury it like in his lower back, but the swing was low, so it's right now it's kind of buried in its hip.
In his hip. All right.
Yeah.
Let's do a fortitude test. A difficult fortitude test to see whether or not he stays on his feet as you bury the Omniscient Axe. No. He keels over. In fact, not fatigued. Sorry, I don't want fatigued. I want prone. Yeah, he drops to the ground as you bury the axe into his hip. Which then brings us to you, Barrick.
Well, seeing as my target is now out of sight and prone, I'm going to swap to a new target.
What are you going for? Give us a little flash of the old... Alright, okay, yeah, the guy at the top.
Yep.
He's currently focused on Enoch. So he doesn't see the shot coming.
Yeah, gonna stop him from shooting my friends in the back.
Send it. Oh, that's a good roll. Unopposed, straight shot. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. The guy in front is just walking a bag full of bits of scrap just as the shot rings out, and you end up just puncturing straight through. The las bolt erupts, killing the guy in front of him. Puncturing through him into the ganger behind. Not enough to kill the ganger, but it's still a pretty devastating shot. Oh, any movement?
Well, no, I'm staying where I'm at the moment.
It's at this moment you would hear what sounds to be shattered glass as quick motion seems to whiz through the air. Mordecai, in his elevated position, will take a shot. With the distance being slightly off, this Norris, in front of you just see an impact on the metal, a quick spray of sparks as the shot ricochets off the ground. The distance being a little bit too much, and with it being Mordecai's first shot, not enough to hit the ganger in front of you. Enoch, what are you up to?
Well, he's going to grab the chainsword under his poncho and swing it out and start it, revving it, and just completely with basis. He's just going to say, "Die, heretic!" and he's going to just rush this guy right here and attempt to cut him down.
Absolutely.
And the actual thing, combat, chainsword, normal.
Bear in mind you got +2 to the roll from the superiority, but that would still make it -2. We're unopposed. Yeah, at the last moment, just as this guy is looking towards you, he just ducks back, the chainsword missing him by millimeters as he starts to scramble for a weapon at his belt. Oh, -4. Ouch.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Osterin.
Big man is gonna take a swipe at both of these guys.
Okay. Alright. Big cleave.
Just trying to remember how to do it.
Combat tab. Trench pick. Basically, it's a single attack against both of them. So you just roll once. Normally they would try and dodge.
Difficulty?
Difficulty is just a straight 0. No modifiers at the moment.
Does he get a +2?
You do indeed get +2 to your SL for superiority. Oh no. Unopposed. So the trench pick goes swinging straight into this guy for 9 points of damage, and with it being a cleaving attack, also goes into the other guy.
So like he didn't have it up fully. When they were talking, when Enoch was talking, he hefted it up over his shoulder, and then when the shots and everything started ringing out, he if anyone looked at Ostrin, they could just see him like two-handed reel it back all the way back, just stretching this pick all the way back, and then he just wings it right through one, and then it doesn't even come out. It just, while in the other person, the momentum just swings right into the other person as well.
Oh. Alright. So, with these two guys, the first one having part of his back just blown out by this giant trench pick, and the spike finding its way into the other guy with the giant cleave. Both of them are pretty fucked. Any movement, Osterin, or are you just going to stay there and go ham?
Ostrin's going to point his other hand at the lady here.
Yeah.
Lister.
Uh-huh.
And he's going to be like, 2,500 solars, and I won't twist your head off.
She just starts to get her bearings. Traitorous fucking mutant! Faust, over to you.
She used the word mutant, did she?
Yes, she did.
Okay.
Oh,
Faust somewhat calm demeanor breaks at this word, and he's gonna smite her.
Oh no! Oh no! Psychic power, what's it look like?
It's kind of like he uses his telekinetic powers to rub the air in two directions to create a slash, like a tear. Like
Yeah.
if you held a piece of paper and one hand went up and the other went down, you get a tear down the middle. Mm-hmm. So he does that on a person's body with psychic powers on flesh. So a tear just erupts on her body.
Immediately, blood spews out, coating the floor as this psychic emanation just rends part of her body apart. Fucking hell.
Yeah. So by now, Faust is full psychic mode. It's like there's a blaze of halo light behind his head. There's just etheric energy pouring out of his eyes while his hand's just pointing at Blister.
With that, that's the end of the surprise round. The gangers jump into action immediately. They seem to be pretty much on the ball. This is their home. They know what the score is. And with that, the ganger on the ground is going to try and crawl the fuck away from Norris as this gaping wound in his hip begins to bleed out across the floor. Norris, you do indeed get a free attack against him as he tries to crawl away, reaching for the shotgun that's slung hanging limply at his waist.
I'm sorry for this. I'm so sorry. Okay, I'm gonna do the thing.
Oh, oh no. As he's crawling away, oh, hang on. I've applied the wrong one there to,
Did you throw the axe? Oh man, this guy's getting fucking dunked on.
Yeah. You have the advantage. You ambush them. It's part and parcel of the system. Norris, as this ganger's crawling away, reaching for his shotgun with this gaping wound in his hip, what do you do?
I just kind of look at him. Norris is going to look down at him, see that basically his effort is all in futility. And he's going to say, for worshipping a false emperor. And he's going to bury the hatchet square in the guy's back, severing his spine.
There's a scream, only momentarily before consciousness fades. His eyes roll back in his head as the body just goes limp on the ground. Shock overcoming him, knocking him out, and no doubt the severed spine and profuse amount of blood being spewed onto the rusted iron below will be his end. Next up, the ganger next to Osterin is going to quickly draw their auto pistol and in a spray, stub pistol, in a quick spray of rounds, let one off towards you, Osterin. This is a close combat attack, so you can either dodge or you can melee back.
When you say melee back,
Yep.
with his weapon or with a fist?
With your weapon, if it is a crit, you do crit damage. If it's not a crit, you can potentially... Oh my god, -2. Never mind. It doesn't really matter. The shot just...
He's gonna attack him back.
Yeah, roll a melee check. If it's a crit, you do the crit damage. If it's not, then it's negated.
We don't get the +2 anymore, correct?
You do. No, this is a new turn. Unless you've used it already, which you haven't, you can choose to use it on this roll, or you can hold it and wait for your turn to come round.
I'll hold it.
Okay.
It should just be no modifiers.
Alright, so it is a success, but it's not a crit. So as the pistol comes up to shoot, you swing the trench pick, knocking the pistol aside, and the shot just goes wide, impacting on some of the metal behind. Cheerful Ganga, not so cheerful at the moment. As he staggers up, his head reeling, he's going to turn towards you, Faust, and drawing his pistol, put around towards you. You can choose to dodge if you so wish, but that will be your reaction.
Yeah, I'll dodge.
Are you sure? Look at the roll.
I'm dodging.
Alright. The shot rings out. Faust, you dip to the side. The shot whizzes past you. Yeah, fuck it. Behind you.
No.
Behind you, Faust, you hear this scream as the shot just punctures into the chest of the citizen behind you.
Collateral damage.
Chat, that's not my fault. Right?
It's just a case of boom. Alright. Next up would be this Ganga up near Enoch. Having dodged back from the initial chainsword swing, he's going to attack you with his knife. Enoch, you can either dodge or you can melee attack back.
We're gonna melee attack back because
All right.
that's how we do. Yep. I will. It's about getting the practice and making sure that we know how to do this, right?
Absolutely. So he can melee attack. If it's a crit, you can basically do the damage. If it's not a crit, it just negates. But again, -4 fails. He swings, you swing, both blades clatter, nothing happens.
Yep. Sounds right.
Blister herself is immediately going to set off at a sprint. Looping round Osterin. She's going to move into this next region. Start heading towards the elevator. As she does, she's going to turn around and this Weber pistol in hand, point it towards Osterin and shoot him. Osterin, you have already reacted this turn.
Okay, so you can only react once.
Correct.
Okay.
Per turn.
Yes, once per turn. Actually, no, fuck it. Instead, it's not a Weber. It's her gun.
Jim's like, I will get some damage in.
Alright, bear with me. Alright, we have got the issue back. Yay!
Fun.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought I fixed that son of a bitch. I need to look at the logs and find out what that is. Oh my god.
You're going to be deleting those for a while there, bud.
Alright, in that case, let's try it again. So, instead, it's going to go with the hand cannon. Shoot Osterin in the back. Ooh. She hits him. It's unopposed. Oh my god. Oh no. Osterin. You are blattered hard in the back with this single shot hand cannon. You just hear this massive eruption behind you, this booming noise as this gun sends out basically a bolter round into your back. You feel this heavy thud in your chest as you stumble forward. The gun itself breaks apart as it fires this one round. Oh my god! That's a lot of damage! Ostrom, you are not dead. When you are certainly not feeling good. So the way Imperium Maledictum works with dying is not so much like D&D where you do nothing. You would gain... you make a roll to see if you gain a critical wound. But that'll come around on your turn. But that's basically her done and her one-shot weapon over. Suspicious Ganger is going to take this opportunity. Let me double check something very quickly. That's mental damage. I love it. So, you go prone. What's your toughness bonus, Osterin?
Toughness.
It's 5.
So,
He's got a pretty toughness.
if you...
Where do I see that?
it's just basically the first. If you look at toughness 50. So if you don't get any medical attention in 5 rounds, you'll die. I'm sure you'll be fine in 5 rounds. So basically, with wounds, you suffer wounds whenever you take damage. If your wounds equal or exceed your maximum wounds, you go prone. So you are indeed knocked prone. As this single shot bolt around, basically this grenade hits you in the back, dropping you to your knees. If you aren't healed within 5 rounds, you fall unconscious until you heal at least 1 wound. Whenever you take damage that exceeds your maximum wounds or are struck by a critical hit, you suffer a critical wound. So basically, you're still good, even though you're missing a good chunk of your lower back. But this guy, this suspicious gang in front of you, is going to try and get out of dodge. You can try and swing out at him as he tries to run away.
No, he's not gonna react.
Yep. Alright, he's gonna move. And his action is going to be to run. This guy, blooded, bruised, head splitting from the psychic shriek, is full on stumbling, staggering away, blood dripping beneath him as he goes. The ganger up the top here, near the main cargo elevator, is going to put a shot in towards you, Faust.
Oh.
With his pistol. It's unopposed since you've already dodged, I believe, this turn.
Mm-hmm.
You are hit for 10 points of damage as the shot finds its mark. right in your left side ribs. That's the gangers done. They were on the ball. Holy shit. Gentlemen, it's over to you. Noros, you're up first.
Norris is just gonna walk up right behind this guy. It seems his attention is clearly somewhere else.
Yeah, with his pistol pointing
And-
towards Faust, I'm going to let you make that an easy attack rather than challenge him.
Okay. This poor guy.
Unopposed. He doesn't see it coming. Straight into his back. The Omniscient Axe cuts through the armor. Not enough to bring him down low, though. Ooh, anything from your talents? Anything you wish to shout out?
No.
All right. With that, then, Barrick, over to you.
All right.
I'm going to move some of these civilians as they start cowering, running around. The beggar's going to stay where he is. He doesn't care. This guy at the top. He's currently focused on dropping Faust as he begins to pull the trigger once again to send a second shot. Barrick, unopposed roll.
And Barrick's gonna. Yep.
You've got +2 to superiority. In fact, actually, it drops it to +1. Not that it makes a difference, because that was simply +2, due to the fact that Osterins just took a pretty hefty wound. All right. Still enough, though, as the shot goes out, unopposed. What happens to him, Barrick?
The bolter or the blast from the carbine rips his leg off, and as it does, he kind of tumbles, and his face just smacks into the ground. You can just hear a sickening crunch as like his teeth and everything that was in his face just kind of hits the ground really hard.
The rusted metal ground is not the most comforting as he slams hard into it. Teeth, bone, blood scatter around. Any movement?
I'm gonna scoot down my or over the cover.
Okay.
And move to cover here.
All right. Excellent. Another shot rings out towards the Ganga in combat with Osterin. So Norris, you would just hear this whistle as a silenced shot. Whoop, no, that guy there whips past from Mordecai in his elevated position. I didn't add the +1 to that, which would make it a 0, which would make it a hit. So let me change that. Fate add. There we go. There, that's all good. So, in front of Osterin, as he quickly begins to realize that he's just been shot in the back, the guy in front of you, Osterin, would just his head. His leg would just vaporize in a sea of mist as this bullet just rips through the air, taking it clean off at the hip. The guy in front of you lies dead.
We really have a thing for legs.
You really do. You love the legs. Hey, Yeti, how you doing? Enoch, over to you, good sir.
All right. Well, we're stuck in here. He's facing off against this guy here still. So he's also got it in his head that this person that just shot Ostrin might be getting away. But he doesn't want to leave this guy unattended either, so I guess he's gonna have to just try to slash at him with the chainsaw. He already has it out. They've been going back and forth a little bit.
Yeah.
And
A +1 to superiority. This Ganga is going to use his reaction to try and block the chainsword.
right.
Oh, may your rolls tonight.
Yeah.
So, rules as written. Even though it's a failure, he failed harder. And he
Because he tried to react.
Because he tried to react. So, rules as written, you still hit him.
Interesting. Okay.
If he chose not to react, it would have been a fail. But because he tried to stab you, so that is, for all intents and purposes, a hit. The chainsword cuts into leg again. God, you guys on legs. Carved into his right leg. And I will do a fortitude pain test to see whether or not he can, with it being his leg, see whether he can stay on his feet. Fortitude. Straight roll. No. As the chainsword cuts through his leg, severing a tendon, it drops him to the ground. Any movement? Anything you wish to call out? Any free actions, Enoch?
He's just looking at this. This guy is a little bit hobbled. The only thing is, does it appear that this elevator that she's going to is already open, like from when they came up before?
Yes. Yes. All it would require is for her to jump on and hit the button for it to start either ascending or descending.
All right. There's nothing really for him to do here. He's just trying to wrap this up and
You can move. You can move. With him, this guy being on the ground, there's a chance he won't be able to hit you of an attack of opportunity.
Oh no, he's just gonna sit there because there's the way that this game works. It's like the chance to hit turns into a critical hit, and then you're on death's door.
Mm-hmm. Osterin, you feel a sticky, wet sensation on your back, and immediately find yourself on the floor. That's unfortunate.
He doesn't fear death. He doesn't really have the capacity to fear death. But he knows the woman ran past, and then he felt the impact. So as soon as she had shot him, so he's gonna immediately try to turn his head and get a visual on her. And is it possible for him to throw his trench pick at her?
Do you know what? I don't know exactly the ruling, but fuck it. It's cinematic AF. Let's go for it. That to me would sound like just a straight up attack towards her, but obviously after this you'll lose your trench pick regardless of which way it
Yeah.
goes. So yeah. Actually, I think it's classed as an improvised attack, which should be in your... If I equip it for you. There you go. In your combat tab, you should have an improvised two-handed attack.
Alright, challenging with the +2 SL.
+1 now, because you took you got knocked down to the point where you're slowly dying, you're bleeding out, so it's only 1 SL now, but she's not focused on you. She's shot her shot, and she's now focusing on getting out of dodge, so it's going to be an unopposed roll. So, just a straight improvised attack as you launch the trench pick. Oh god. Oh no. And no.
So, for anyone who has eyes on Osterin, he kind of like... First he like fell to his knees and then kind of like fell forward. And then he kind of rolled to his side to see where she had gone. And then you just see him heave up like the upper half of his body with this trench pick in both hands. Just his massive arms wheeling it back like a fucking trebuchet. And then it just, boom, just flies out and just spins right through the air. And it connects.
Before you say
right
what
where the
happens, shall we see whether or not she's dead or just out of the fight?
Okay.
Yeah? Because there may be...
Yeah.
So, my question is, do you want to try and have the chance of interrogating her, or do you just want her gone?
If he can try to not like
all right,
one
not murder her.
pepper.
All right, let's see whether
Yeah.
her fortitude succeeds. No. No. Oh, okay. Never mind. I will give her a few seconds of life to answer any questions, because at this point, you're all getting the impression that you've butchered through a lot of these gangers. There's not going to be much fighting them left at the end of after Faust is gone. So, what do you do, Osterin? You don't have to kill her outright, but she's not going to be able to last too long.
So, no, it's gonna hit her like in the kind of like the shoulder, more kind of like the shoulder and chest, and the pick is going to carry her basically to this wall, and impale her in the wall with the pick just like buried so far deep in there you would probably need a machine to pull it out. With a horrific crunching noise.
She just hits the wall, the pick not only through her shoulder, but now into the concrete behind her as she just dangles 3 inches off the nearest pile of scrap, and she looks down groggily at this pick, back up towards you, Osterin, as she begins to just start coughing blood onto her chest.
He spits like a big wad of blood and mutters something to himself before falling face forward.
Alright, Faust, end of the turn. What are you up to?
So who's left?
1, 2.
Well, they're
Two.
engaged, and Faust is it's pretty hot right now. So he's just gonna wander and move into this zone here, and then he's gonna vent. Gonna purge his heralds.
How's...
Play.
Oh no. It's a little too hot at the moment. As you're trying to maintain a moment of calm and balance, these screams from the individuals around, along with this constant whisper from the wall, just you struggle. You struggle to find balance.
Okay. I guess that's my turn.
It would probably be at that moment where the pain starts to kick in as the adrenaline wears off. That you've just took a shot in the left lung. But I am going to end combat there, because at that, seeing that there's a multitude of individuals dead, your superiority is still above the resolve of the remaining gangers. All fight leaves them. They begin to immediately back off. How do you wish to finish this fight, everyone?
Oh, well, I can tell you Barrick's not going to let any of them go. Any that are still alive and are trying to run, they're going to get las carbine shots.
There's one guy up the top who's making a run for it, bleeding out as he goes. He's probably the best candidate for you to... many people have crapped their pants already this session, Yeti. You missed it. But yeah, the guy who's running... Barry could probably be the best candidate to shoot in the back.
Barrick will take off after him and then just shoot him in the back as he's running.
What happens as this guy's stumbling away, blood pooling from every step?
Just a single las carbine shot just rings out and just punches a hole right through his chest, and he just kind of takes a few steps forward, tumbles to his knees, gurgles, and then just dies on the floor.
All right. Norris, what's happening with you and the chap down here? Because he's already dead.
Norris, hearing their conversation earlier is intrigued, and he wants to know more about this cult. So he's taking this one.
All right. He just immediately throws his weapons to the ground. All right, fucking hell! All right, don't kill me! Don't kill me!
Prove your worth, and you might live.
I can tell you things. I can tell you lots of things. Just don't. Oh, he looks to his side, seeing the carved out corpse of his friend next to him. I'll tell you everything I know. I swear. Oh God, don't kill me. Whilst this is going on, Enoch, this guy who was knocked prone with you cutting his leg open, what's happening here?
Honestly, this is probably going to continue to just be like him attacking me and me attacking him, trying to like the end of it. That guy is not going to get out of this, just because Enoch has been trying like hell to try to just murder him, and he's probably not going to stop that.
Yeah. What? How do you finish it?
Enoch brings the chainsword down, and the man blocks it with his knife, and the chainsword catches the knife and basically just busts through, and bears down, and just there's a flurry of blood against the ballard there, and he's just dead on the floor in place.
Awesome. So, with this macabre scene in front of everyone, you glance around, you would see Blister pierced against the wall with Osteron's pick. Osteron laid out on the floor in a growing pool of blood.
Well, that's not good.
It's down to you folks now. what's everyone doing?
Barrick will rush over, open his backpack, and pull out his survival kit and see if there's anything in there to kind of help stabilize Ostrin.
Anyone helping with this, or is it just Barrick?
Probably just Barrack, because Faustus using his psychic powers to dig out the bullet that's in him. It's in there somewhere.
Psychic surgery.
Yeah.
Literally.
From you, Faust, eventually there would be the tink metal on metal as the bullet is extracted onto the floor below, but over with Barrick. Oh, Barrick.
Enoch really isn't good at this, but he's going to do what he can, like, relend a hand or wherever needed. So if that gives him any kind of benefit, that's what he'll be doing.
All right. In that case, then, Barrick, with a Medicaid check with advantage, have you stitched anyone up before or tended to wounds?
Like combat dressing, like just trying to stabilize, so maybe some experience in the battlefield, but not a super large amount of it, because when you're on the battlefield, most people just kind of just die. They don't survive.
Okay. Barrick applying, or at least currently rummaging through his survival kit for thread, anesthetic spray, and various other items. Enoch, you grab a few bandages. Ostrin, is there anything you want to do to help, or are you out of commission?
He's out. He's just repeating the same thing over and over, which is in a language that's more from the planet he was originally from. Roughly translated to "only in death does duty end," which is an old guardsman saying.
So with Barrick helping, I'm going to give you advantage. Sorry, with Enoch helping, I'm going to give you advantage on the roll. And since you have some experience of tending to injured guardsmen, I'm going to give you +1 success level. So 1 success level with advantage, a straight Medicaid roll, challenging.
Ooh.
Oh shit!
Ooh. Close.
Holding down with the helping. He's just Enoch's just there. God, I thought that they smelled bad on the outside, and then that's his contribution to this.
You managed to quickly remove bits of shrapnel from the pistol shots from Ostrin's side, stitch up a few of the major holes, and with the help of Enoch, apply pressure and bandage to the area, stabilizing him. Ostrin will not die this day. He took basically a homemade bolt gun round, a bolter shell, to the abdomen and survived. Ostrin, 1 HP in a dream.
Hell yeah, let's go.
Okay. Once he is stable, the next order of business is checking this person, I think.
Blister.
Yeah.
Blister's currently held aloft by this giant trench pick through her shoulder into the concrete behind her. She's dangling like a puppet with strings cut, coughing blood from her mouth onto her chest as she just looks down towards you, Enoch. Oh, fuck. Oh.
That's not how I expected it to go.
It didn't have to be this way. You chose this.
The light in her eyes is quickly fading. Any questions?
All right, so Enoch is largely ignorant of the situation, other than there's supposedly a gambling debt. Supposedly. So, why did you take Leo? Why were you holding him captive?
Oh, he just owed money.
She weakly raises a hand to the container behind you both.
He's in there. Might be missing a leg.
Well, then he's not going anywhere, and neither are you. What did he do to rack up so many debts?
He's just a big gambler. Drinking, whoring. He's just stepped on too many toes. He did. Yeah, too many toes. Why do you want him?
I'm looking for someone, and he can tell me where to find them. A survivor of an acid explosion. I'm sure you've heard the rumors.
She shakes her head, coughing one last time.
Fucking coven.
And as those words leave her mouth, her head lolls forward. Her eyes glaze over. Blood drips from both her mouth and the wound as life leaves her body.
Alright. So, the Coven. Well, that word usually means only one of two things. So he's gonna go over, basically run her down, see if she has anything on her that might help. If there's anything we need. The guy.
She has a
locked into
Weber.
the container.
She has a Weber pistol, and the makeshift hand cannon she had before was shattered in the single shot that blew open Osterin's back. But she does indeed have a Weber pistol.
Okay, that sounds like an interesting thing. So he'll grab that.
Okay.
And basically just run this guy's pockets real quick before heading back.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Roll me 7d10, please, Enoch. For
7d10
the solars collected.
/R 7d10.
Oh shit!
Oh man. So amongst the bodies, this is for everyone. There's a 56 solars.
What's the 20th?
on top of the 150 solars in Blister's possession. So that would be 206 in total, Enoch.
206. All right, so basically between her and this guy and the rest of them, 206 solars. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll mark that down.
Alright.
But so he's going to come back and basically make sure that Osterin is breathing.
Yeah. Well, whilst you're currently rifling through the body, Osterin, Barrick, anything you two wish to say or do as you return to some form of consciousness, Osterin?
I'm not just telling the big guy to be careful next time.
He's gonna look very confused. He's still breathing. And then he's gonna ask, "Why didn't you just let me die?"
Nah, big guy, you're too useful to let die. Plus, then we have to find a replacement.
Kind of thinks that makes sense, but to him, it also doesn't make sense because usually when Ogren is shock troops, they're used on the front line. They don't usually get medical help. You either walk it off or, you're not useful anymore. Can he move at this point?
Absolutely. Yeah, it hurts. But absolutely, you can still move.
He's gonna walk over to Blister's corpse and put his hands on his pickaxe and see if it'll move.
Yeah, it will. You can retrieve it from the rockcrete wall.
With pretty much no regard to her corpse at all, he's going to rip out the trench pick from the wall and probably take out a massive chunk of the concrete.
Yeah, the concrete.
And just kind of like tap it against the wall a few times just to like get like some chunks off it. Guess I didn't need to twist your head off.
As you pull the trench pick from out of the wall, the corpse of Blister just crumples into the scrap heap below. Lifeless, dead. You shake the trench pick a few times, clean it off from the concrete and blood and gore, the viscera. Nice. Whilst that's going on, Noros, what's happening with you down yonder?
Noros is going to take this guy and move him like over in front of the container.
Okay.
Like over there.
As you
and
grab,
he's going to
go on.
He's going to tell him to tell whoever's inside to come out, that the boss needs him.
There's only one more inside, and it's a surgeon. He was just removing a few augmetics from. It bangs, raps hard on the door. Oi, Sticker! It's time to get out, mate. It's Blister's fucked. He looks towards you, Norris, and shrugs his shoulder. Is that enough?
Norris is going to nod, and then with the blunt of his axe, he's going to smack him in the back of the head, knocking him out.
All right. Boom. The guy drops to the ground, unconscious. And it's at that moment where you would see the panel to the side of the door flick from red to green. The two-door begins to split in half with a loud hydraulic hiss as a man covered in blood, a waistcoat and an apron steps out. A bit of a bewildered glance as he sees several individuals looking at him. But before we go to that, Faust, how are you doing over here as people push past you to try and get the fuck out of Dodge?
So they are gonna fuck off on the elevator.
They're making their way towards the elevator or towards the stairwell. Yes.
Well, is the crazy guy still there preaching?
Yeah, he doesn't seem to have taken in anything whatsoever.
Faust's gonna wander over and start praying with the crazy old man just to calm himself, and then he's gonna try and vent again.
Oh shit! Okay. As you settle down in the pile of scrap with the preacher, he looks towards you with this toothless grin. I told you, didn't I? Yes. Come. Pats the ground. Sit, my child. Maybe you require the words of the benevolent, beneficent, omnipotent God Emperor. With you closing your eyes.
Faust will just nod. Yeah, I'll close my eyes.
With you
and just
closing
nod.
your eyes, Faust. If you're going to try and vent again, I will make it. I will make it easy with advantage, as this man's words seem to reach into your soul. Every word is spoken in blind faith to the God Emperor of mankind.
Yeah.
Oh no. Yay, but no. Oh no.
It's going well, chat.
Psychic phenomenon. What happens? Faust, what happens? There's only you and the preacher. There's only you and the preacher in this zone. The other guys hit the elevator, the other ones run off.
Wow.
So he hears this cacophony of voices. He's probably pretty stunned by this, but first he'll put a hand on him and he goes, "You've heard the voice of the Emperor," and just walks away.
I can't help but look at that second part, the lingering effect. Whispering and distant voices haunt the zone forever. They mislead or inform listeners. So this dude, being the only person in his pile of shit, is going to have wart whispers misleading and misdirecting him for as long as he stays there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hey. Don't worry about it.
With glazed eyes, the hand on his shoulder, the madman begins to slowly nod. Yes, these, the words of the God Emperor of mankind. He speaks to me. He acknowledges me. What is your will, my master?
I've done something horrible, chat.
Whilst that's going on.
Nothing like a zine sculpted to cheer up your
we
day.
thought we were out of combat.
I love this system. So, that brings us back now, everyone reconvening. Faust, pretty wounded, taking a slug into the ribs. You managed to pull it out, but it will take some time to heal up. Osterin, you took a huge explosive round to the back. Obviously painful, but with your physique, upbringing, belief in the God Emperor, you can power through it. The surgeon steps out of the makeshift container turned abattoir and looks around at those arrayed in front of him. Hey, appears I've been, what do you all want?
Firstly, the one you have in there, is he alive?
He drops a handsaw to the ground, raises his hands up in surrender and slowly nods. Yes, he is alive. Missing his leg, mind you, but... well... augmetics?
Yes, well, he'll have to limp. Second thing, you will see to my compatriots who have been shot. And if you try anything, you will be executed.
You wish me to tend to their injury? Roll me a presence check, Enoch. Easy. Anybody else wish to do anything to assist this?
Yeah, Barrick is going to also then, he's gonna the doctor can see him pull up the las carbine, basically saying if he doesn't do it, he's dead. Just giving him the impression that it needs to be done.
Anything further?
That's 100% what he was going to do. Is just have Barrick like stand watching him with the last carbine, ready to shoot him if he tries anything.
Norris, anything from you since you're still up, able?
No, he just given the doctor a kind of quizzical look.
All right.
Yeah.
So seeing
they call them a surgeon, so I'm just banking on this guy actually being like something of a medical person. So, Barrick made a really good a try, but I'm just really hoping we can get people seen to a little bit better.
So seeing the Ganga knocked out, along with the heaps of corpses and gore splayed across the second level of the chop shop, a las carbine pointed at him, and for a brief moment, no doubt, a quick flick of a laser in his eye from a sniper across the way. Enoch, roll me a presence with very easy with advantage.
Okay, if this goes sideways, I'm going to be so upset.
I'm actually going to kill this man.
Okay, so 7 success levels.
This man fully understands the situation he's in. He hopes he'll get out of this alive, and with a slow nod, all right, I'm not exactly much of a true surgeon, more of a remover, but I'll do my best to assist them. I can at least apply some various sprays and Medicaid apparatus to tend to... Come, please. Begins to wave the rest of the group into the small chop shop. All right. Everyone going in?
Enoch goes, 100%.
Yeah, I think everybody go in, right? Though some for question. Oh, go on.
Yeah, no, I was about to say Barrick can stand guard outside.
All right.
Or no, we got Mordecai out. No, we got Mordecai out there. Never mind.
Mordecai's out on Overwatch.
If Austria isn't needed, he'll just stay by the door, probably leaning against.
You're getting
the
medical
machine
attention, boy. You're going in.
Okay.
Yeah. You and who else needs medical attention?
I do.
Faust.
I got shot.
All right. As you all step into this small shack, you would see the form of a mohawked individual passed out on a surgical bench. His leg removed, apart from a few cables and a single metal strut sticking out from where it attaches to the bone. This, you guess to be your contact, Leo. The older gentleman, the surgeon, beckons those in with injuries towards another open table. All right, if you would be so kind as to set yourselves upon, I will see what can be done.
Well, Faust will go first because I think he's the only one that'll actually fit on the bench.
Yep. All right. So, with that then, Faust, as you set upon the bench, the surgeon begins to make his way over to a cabinet, takes out several vials, injectors, a surgery kit, and makes his way over towards you. If no one stops him, he will attempt to patch you up. With kit at the ready.
Yeah,
Begins-
like eyes will be on him, but
Yeah.
well, I'll not stop him.
He should be extremely motivated.
Yeah,
So-
he is indeed very motivated. Applying a quick stim to your chest, Faust, as he peels open the robe, the poncho, the armor. He injects you with an anesthetic and begins to go to work, stitching the wound closed, along with applying a few other salves from the chirurgeon's kit. Begins to, for the moment, heal the bullet wound together. Granted, it's going to ache for a while. It's going to be sore. But you are no longer on death's door. No longer bleeding. And so for all intents and purposes, HP restored. But bear in mind, from an RP point of view, that's going to hurt for a long time.
A little bit tender.
Yeah. As this goes on for roughly, I would say almost an hour as he stitches Faust up. Eventually, with all of the undulants and salves applied, the wound stitched. Faust, you've even got a new metal plate covering one of the ribs that just bends around your rib to reinforce it during the healing process. He then looks around to the rest of the group. All right, and the next, is there any others who require?
Enoch's gonna
Austrians
look
just
over
kind of
it,
like turn and show his backside.
The surgeon recoils in horror. A, it's an Ogren in front of him. B, a wound this traumatic would kill pretty much 99.9% of the population. He begins to lean in. Oh, by the Emperor, this is... How are you still... Why didn't you tell me sooner that... Fine, sit on... No, never mind, you can't. Is he going to thrash?
Well, you shouldn't.
Very well. And with that...
Here, I'll do this. And then he moves to the table after Faust gets off it, and he basically uses the entire table like a pillow. He puts his arms up on it, his head on the table, and he kind of like gets on his knees.
Face down,
with his
ass
back
up.
facing out.
All right. This takes a little longer due to the sheer size of an Ogren and a slightly unfamiliar physique. But with it being on a grander scale, he begins to apply several salves to the open area. This wound's been huge due to the fact that it was almost an explosive round. Numbing your backside, with it being in his direction, he will take a graft of skin from your arse, Osterin, and use that over the large wound. So this takes another hour and a half, perhaps even 2 hours, for him to graft on the new skin, to stitch up the deeper layers of flesh, apply several salves, several chemicals to the area to sew it and sterilize it. You two are now fit, ready for the fight, but again, this is going to hurt for a while. You had a layer of skin removed from your arse and a gaping wound in your side stitched up. That's a... should, see your abhuman fellow, back up and running in no time, but, both of you, try and get a few days worth of rest, and, here, apply these... And he hands 2 small injectors to you, Faust and Osterin. In fact, Osterin, he hands you 3. Tomorrow morn when you awaken, if you feel a scratching or a tingling itch, apply these to the area and it should take the edge off and get you up and running again. It turns towards you now, Enoch. I hope that's suffices. Huh.
Indeed it does. And he's going to look and look for anything around that, like if there's a stick or a beam or like a crutch or something like that.
Absolutely. There would be enough scrap and bits and pieces lying around to use as such.
Okay, so he's going to grab a piece of something, because it's his intention that when this guy's on, like, recovered, Leo, he's going to just basically give him something to lean on and, like, walk around like Tiny Tim, rather than have the doctor actually fix him or help him at all.
Fair.
Yes. And this was, like, is this what he uses, like an office? Is this where he operates?
Pretty much, yes.
Like, is that what it looks like?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yes.
It is indeed a chop shop, but not so much chop shop for scrap. This is a chop shop for augmetics and removing parts of people.
Yes. Well, Ostrin, can you take care of carrying him? He's going to point over to Leo and looking at the doctor. You know, perhaps you can find something on or in one of those outside to make some profit off of all of this. And I think we should be away.
I agree with leaving this place.
We got who we need. Let's get out of here.
Oh, we can't forget the prisoner now, can we?
Why is it always you and your pets?
He's not a pet. He has information on the cult, which we need. It's only logical.
Do you not think that this one, when he awakens, will have the information we require?
It's possible. Better to have 2 sources than 1.
Very well. Very well.
You're carrying it.
That's fine.
Well, we should
You
depart.
gotta feed it and walk it.
You can't let it. you can't let it get forced out the window like the last one.
Why is there 2? It's becoming a trend.
I'm just picturing like people who are hanging out in the same spot, like a body falls, and, like basically shatters, explodes like a water balloon, and then like less than 24 hours later, they're hanging out in the same
Do you know I found this craziest thing earlier? Someone just fell out of the fucking sky. Never happens here.
What are the chances of that?
So, with the unconscious Leo and unconscious Ganga in tow, you depart the chop shop surgery. The surgeon himself is stood there bowing repeatedly. Thank you for if you ever need anything further, you know where to find me. Free, of course. Whilst I've got the supplies and the stock.
Indeed, we do.
The Emperor protects.
Yes, the Emperor protects.
Well, I think that went well.
Faust's holding his ribs. He goes, well, you would, wouldn't you?
It definitely went well, minus you two getting hurt. Barrick's gonna look at Faust. You ever thought about not getting shot? Just he's being sarcastic about it.
You say that to Faust?
Yes.
You know, don't mock me. I'll climb into your mind and make you wet yourself while you sleep. just walk.
So with the group making their way out of the chop shop back into District 7, into the narrow side alleys of the district, we'll find out what Leo and the Ganga have to say next episode, shall we?
Yeah, that's probably best.
Good shit.
What the hell?
Yeah, that's pretty much nearly 4 hours gone. Like that.
Wait, what? Really?
Yeah.
Goes quick.
Goes quick. Anything anyone wishes to do whilst you depart the chop shop? As a point for next session?
Not really. I think we just have a lot of interrogation to do.
Another.
I like.
Go on.
Well, make sure anybody that stares at the widows that are fucking carrying bodies out of the I'll try and make sure that to give them the stink eye and just eyeball them down until they fuck off in the other direction.
Fair. Absolutely fair.
Like, on the way out, I think what we do is we're actually going to grab tarps from like the scrap heaps and just wrap both of the things in the tarps, so that way it looks like we're just carrying like
Scrap.
random shit, not bodies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
Wait.
like it could be like a carpet or anything, you know.
Why don't we
There's-
have
Go on.
Why don't we have Ostrin just dump out a box of scrap, put the bodies in there, and then he can just carry it away.
All right. In that case, are you happy to do that, Ostrin?
Yeah.
Cool. I'm going to ask for a difficult fortitude test, please.
Difficult fortitude.
Yes.
Don't fall over. We can't carry you.
I was looking to like just make it very light and easy, not like a huge thing immediately after surgery, but you know.
Use ogre and he will work.
You will work. Holy shit.
God damn.
So, in spite of having his back completely flayed open by an explosive round, you get this ogre to work. Ostrom, what do you do?
He has his pick in one hand and he just puts gets the stuff in the box, and he's just kind of like gets one hand with the pick underneath and the other hand kind of like the whole arm just kind of stretches over and grabs like a handle on the other end, and he just bends at the knees and not the back, and then just hoists it up. And he honestly looks in a lot of pain, horrific pain, but he doesn't drop it, and he just carries it.
There we go. So, what was the plan with the with this box, Noros? Are you getting this poor ogre servant to carry?
We're gonna put the unconscious people in it.
All right, so he's
This way, it's less conspicuous whenever we're walking out in the open.
Ostrin, with trench pick over one shoulder, large crate on the other shoulder with two bodies, unconscious bodies wrapped in tarp inside. You stumble through the chop shop into
Totally inconspicuous.
totally inconspicuous, and we'll find out what happens next week. Noros, you monster. All right. With that, thank you for joining us for episode 2 of The Blazing Seraph. What do we say?
Bye, everybody.
Goodbye, chat.
Bye, cheat.
And see you next time for Imperium Maledictum on next Saturday, because I don't think we're doing anything tomorrow, unfortunately.
No, so that is correct. There is no pariahs tomorrow. Due to
Callie being a bitch. I mean, what?
due to Reza and Vanya having lives.
Fuck that shit. Huh?
Yeti, Noxious, Durs, Lee, I tried, man. I tried. I'm sorry. I did you dirty. I did some terrible rolls with Mordecai there.
One job.
You need to shout at Virgin. Like, oi, give me internet. Becoming admin. It's not a bad idea. All right. Everyone, once again, thank you for joining us. Oh, man. Noxious, thank you for the 500 bits. Rave on. With the, I hope you enjoyed James and the break time. Sneeze, thank you for the 63 months. And Steel, thank you for gifting Kawhi Mai a sub, mate. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So yeah, with that, we'll probably, I may run a Pariah's re-stream of episode 2 on Wednesday. I'll be in chat, but obviously it'll be
That's
a
Christmas Day, right?
I won't be running a re-stream on Wednesday because that's Christmas Day. It'll be Christmas.
Yeah.
I'll be cooking dinner. We'll see you all next Saturday for episode 3 of The Blazing Seraph, and Sunday for episode 70 whatever of Pariahs. Yeah, button. Let me press that one. I did it right this time. Holy shit. Yeah, with that, everyone, enjoy, for those celebrating, enjoy your holidays, enjoy Christmas, spend it with family, friends, get drunk, and we'll see you in a week's time. Ta-ta for now. We'll try and find someone to raid.